Welcome to another episode of Raiders of the Lost Art, where we go over all the latest pop culture news and dive into what's wrong with Hollywood. Just as we get going, I just want to say thanks for everyone coming in. We really appreciate all the new people that we have and the old. Love to see you all. And I'll start off by saying that if you want to support the channel, we've got a tip link at the top because not monetized yet. So if you want to help out, keep the lights on, it's up there. Otherwise, let's get this party started and bring in some of our panelists. First off, we've got Gary from Pop Culture Minefield. How you doing? You are muted.
What are you muting me for?
I didn't mute you. You muted you.
You muted you. Anyway, hey guys. I got my rubber arm.
Oh, and we also got Fat Steven Seagal in here. How you doing, buddy?
This is a news flash to everyone in the chat and the future watchers. All Stream Element donations are going towards Fat Steven tonight because I need to continue grifting. I need to grift a shit ton of money, so please.
Yep, he's grifting.
Oh, yeah.
If you can also DM me privately, I will definitely send you my Stream Element tip jar link. Thank you for having me, and give me your money. Seriously, give me your money.
And speaking of money, here's Script Doctor.
I am broke.
You can just give me a reach around. It's all good. It's great.
You are a true creator if you're broke.
Yeah, pretty much.
I have a quick question. Can I share this quickly? Because it's boggling my mind since I saw a trailer today.
We still got to get Keith on.
Yeah,
after Keith. Yeah.
Yeah, let's get the other people in here first.
You got Keith here, yeah.
There's my partner in crime.
Yes. How you doing, Keith?
You can tell because we got the same artist that drew us.
An amazing guy, amazing talent.
They look like twins.
Yeah, I'm recovering, and it's all good.
Oh, you're still feeling a little down.
That's
he got a cold. Yeah, he got a cold during the weekend.
Okay.
Hey, Marcos.
Well, if you got ducked out anytime, that's cool. Otherwise, we are glad to have you here.
He's lying.
Oh, yeah.
And last but not least, we have the T-shirt historian himself. How you doing?
Hey.
Well, that
What's
was excellent,
guys?
Nice little pregnant pause there.
Yes, yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's Wendy Vega. Hey, Wendy.
Hi, Wendy.
Hey, Wendy.
Hello, Wendy.
Let's say hi to the chat. Jeez, let's say
someone
hi to
eating?
the cat.
Man, dude, you got some fur in your mouth today.
I know. Oh, I know. Okay, we've got Tim Tringle in here, Theme Park Casual, TD, Real Wade Nation, Marcus A. Let's see. We've got Che, because I can't pronounce the first part.
Cavatino?
Yes, Cavatino. Dark Shadow Logan, Terry
What's up,
Wilkin,
Dark Shadow?
and Wendy Vega. Thank you all for coming. And remember to smash that like button because it really helps. And share out the link and
Tip Fat Steven.
tip Fat Steven.
Tip him right over.
Like a cow that's drunk on...
That Steven Seagal is the only one who's physically been able to tip over a cow.
Yeah, with my tongue. Mm-hmm. Now, I had a question. Can you share this quickly, Yeti, before we get into it? Because we can actually come back to debate this. Now, does that look a lot like the Babylon 5?
That's what I kept saying. Look at the
collar. Look at the collar. You got the stripe. You got the plagiarism down here where the code separates. You see the plagiarism right there? That's plagiarism.
Straight up theft.
Yeah. Huh. Well, thank you, Kurtzman, and your clown trek. That's all for today. Those in the chat, debate it later.
Well, the color scheme was more similar in season 3 with the Admiralty and stuff. But yeah, they're jumping full and there. Yeah.
It seemed pretty frumpy too.
Well, it's Star Trek Discovery. The whole series is frumpy, including its writing.
Yeah. This seemed extra frumpy.
Well, that's because it absorbs tears, right? The new material they're using.
You got to wring it out after every scene.
Welcome to the future.
Fudge.
God, yeah, that's pretty good for Burnham, man.
The gray uniforms that they ended last season on look exactly like I thought they looked exactly like the Babylon 5 Crusade uniforms.
Yep,
they are.
I haven't looked into that at all because I could not stand that series. So I don't know where it ended. I don't care where it ended, but I did hear that Q is supposed to be coming in.
That's Discovery. That's Picard.
I know. Okay, but here's where I'm thinking. Q can reset everything, and then that gets rid of Discovery at the same time, and that's where
they won't.
That's where I'm hoping.
The Secret Hideout won't do that. The Secret Hideout's going to suicide their own series that way? No way. No. They're going the long suicide. They're pill popping.
Plus, this is the 25% different Q.
Yeah. What's going to happen is we're going to have probably three or two options from my point of view. Is A, he's either going to be like the normal Q and test Picard and wonder why he became such a sissy, or two, Q is going to give him a second chance, and that's going to introduce a new younger actor who is going to be called Picard because he's going to give him a second chance at life because his android body will probably be on its deathbed by mid to end. I hate calling it a series. Yeah, I'm going to throw up in my mouth.
Oh, God. Well, I want to point out that Tim Possible just said, rumor has it Fat Steven Skull beat up Twitter, stores vegan cupcakes under his belly to keep them warm like an oven. I can't confirm that is true.
That's not true. I actually keep a picture of Tim Possible under my belly so I can make sure Raylos never get to date him.
And he washes it down with a cup of Tim Hortons.
Wow, that's the only Canadian thing. That's the only Canadian thing you got, really. That's the only thing.
What else do you have? What else do you have as Canadian?
You have Harvey's.
I have my Harvey's, Canadian middle finger.
Your Canadian middle, you can stick that up your ass.
Only after I'm done smelling you.
There you go.
Well, that got awkward.
I felt left out.
Yeah, so the first story we have up today is rumor has it Jeez, I cannot talk right now.
Dwayne Johnson, thank you.
Dwayne Johnson is pressuring Warner Bros. To restore the Snyderverse so Black Adam can fight the Justice League, and I think in particular, Henry Cavill.
But there's no Justice League.
There is if the Snyderverse is all restored and they bring that, they keep that section canon and keep it going.
Well, here's what's going on. Keith brought this up earlier on Facebook, and we first of all find it really interesting that we can get all these numbers on Godzilla versus Kong, but yet we can't get anything definitive on the numbers for Justice League.
Yeah,
which is complete bullshit. Warner Brothers is hiding the numbers. They're doing it intentionally. Mm-hmm. And Hamada and Emmerich both know that they're on the verge of not having a job. And another person that's very anxious right now is J.J. Abrams, because as powerful as he is as a producer, Dwayne Johnson is far better at making money for the mother company, the parent company, AT&T. And AT&T is got its ear leaned in closely on Dwayne Johnson. And this has nothing really to do with Zack Snyder Justice League as much as it has to do with the idea of what AT&T wants and what Warner is resisting doing.
Are you saying it's waste versus income, pretty much?
Yeah, well, it's a straight up line in the sand. Justice League is a line in the sand for AT&T. Now, as Keith has pointed out before, we've talked about this ad nauseum, is that HBO Max doesn't answer to Warner Brothers. They answer directly to AT&T.
Jason Killar.
Yeah, Jason Killar, who is directly under the head of AT&T. And they are right next to the head of Warner Media.
Which is Ann Sarnoff.
Right next to Ann Sarnoff is right next to him. But she can't tell HBO Max to do a fucking thing. They get their orders, their marching orders come straight down through AT&T. Period. So everything that we see going on with Dwayne Johnson and all that has a greater impact on HBO Max. But Warner Brothers wants him as Shazam. Well, as Black Adam for Shazam. The problem is there's a war going on a control war. And I don't believe for a second that Warner's going to win this fight.
Oh,
there's
by
not
the
a
way,
chance.
It's a new rule. Every time we say Hamada, we must also end it with a music sting like da-da-da-dun, because it's Keith's nemesis.
Yeah.
Wait.
The thing about it is that we'll know once the Batman comes out whether or not he will still have a job. But the important thing is,
Keith,
but the important thing is
Hamada.
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 That's an appropriate sting for Hamada.
Hamada.
The important thing to remember with all of this is, what is AT&T going to do with DC Entertainment? Because we saw this before with Disney and Marvel, where Disney, because of various things that were going on with Marvel, between Kevin Feige and the owner of Marvel, they took Marvel Studios from under Marvel Entertainment and separated from everything else. I think AT&T could easily take DC Entertainment once Hamada is gone and separate it from everything and make it its own branch where they concentrate on creating all DC content, because that's really what Warner Brothers, part of the reason why they can act so bold and get up in everybody's face is because they got that. And as long as they sit on it and they control it, they can control pretty much anything that happens. If you take DC Entertainment and you put everything back under DC Entertainment, so you put the films and television in one place, kind of like how they're doing it at Disney with Marvel.
Which is actually a new model, because they never did that before.
That's right. You find some people that are competent to run that. That's not Hamada.
Hamada.
And you go ahead and you set that up to be an overall thing that both HBO Max can benefit from and Warner Brothers film and television can benefit from. But as long as Warner Brothers sits controlling DC Entertainment, you're going to have a hard slog, and you're getting a lot of people mouthing off like Ann Sarnoff and the mysteriously absent Toby Emmerich, who again, Warner Brothers has this thing. They don't want to crowd too much. They're good at this. It's how you don't hear too much from Toby. So,
well,
no, that's pretty true. But again, like Warner Brothers is always hesitant of creating new sub-studios within their system because, again, that makes it independent. The difference being with regards to Marvel Studios is that Marvel Studios was built independently and then financed and then later owned by Paramount, so it could then be sold to Disney. You're not going to have a similar model like that happening over on Warner Brothers' side, unfortunately. Well, it's going to be
it would be nice to see AT&T step in, intercede with this.
Yeah, I think they could do it. It would just be run a little differently. I get what you're saying, Script, and yeah, but AT&T is not conventional in how they run things. They are not a Hollywood company.
They're actually about profit. They're about making money. That's why they don't like entertainment companies. So they bought an entertainment company and are looking at them going, you guys don't know how to make money.
I personally do not feel that AT&T really had anything to do with the demise of the New Gods film. I believe that was in the works for quite a while because nothing had really been set in stone. And again, if you look at various projects that they've had, this is a sign that the people that you have running things aren't really doing their job. Look how long it took to get the Batman in production.
Mm-hmm.
That film should have already been out.
Oh, it should have been out before the pandemic, yeah.
This is also why I think there's more credence to this rumor that Dwayne Johnson is pushing this. As I think he would probably go above Warner Bros. Because he's a big seller. And we started having this debate backstage, and that's what kind of led to this topic. Well, I thought it was a debate because we were going back and forth with points.
No, it was just a devil's advocacy. against why he wouldn't work.
Why do you always go to Satanism?
Because it makes Yeti nervous.
Well, whatever you want to call it, Dwayne Johnson is a big name, and depending on the source you use, he's either 14th or 20th of the highest grossing actors ever. Like, ever. And averages, he is significantly higher above that. So that puts him top billing. The others are basically all Avengers.
Yeah.
And
well, look at what the last 3 movies he's made has made at the box office.
Oh,
this guy has just completely. I mean, look. It was a given that he was going to do something for the Fast and Furious franchise. Nobody knew how much more he could actually add to that, and he did. And then with the spinoff with Hobbs and Shaw, I got to admit something. I was one of those people that thought the movie would do all right. I'm not saying it was going to be bad. The movie would do all right. That movie was like gang freaking busters. This dude is hot right now. And seeing how Warner Brothers has already pissed off Christopher Nolan, the last thing you need to do is be pushing Dwayne Johnson out the door so that he and Henry Cavill could just march on down to Marvel and go, hey, let's make some movies.
I have a question.
Yeti, can you share the screen real quick?
I have a question, Keith. When it comes to, instead of marching, do you think they'll take turns giving each other piggybacks? I think Rock would jump on his back and Cavill would jump on Rock's back.
Well, there's one thing to sort of consider about Dwayne Johnson, and that is the biggest movies he's really had is the 2 Jumanji films and the Fast and the Furious. He's done stuff in between that did not do well. Skyscraper and Rampage were considered flops.
Yep.
Yeah.
The other thing, too, that Fast and the Furious has over all the other franchises is that it really corners the Latin market. It's because, again, it has those family messages, so it gets a lot of money onto that. Jumanji was actually the only one out of the bunch that was genuinely good, and that's considered an ensemble cast, not a rock-led vehicle. So it's, Jumanji 2 kind of did not do as well on the social circuit, at least, as the first Jumanji, or I guess first one with Dwayne Johnson in there. So while he does have some gravitas, objectively looking at it through the numbers, through accounting, he's just basically a cheap poster, but not much there with regards to the quality of the work and the longevity of profit gaining for any new franchise they bring him into. The franchise already has to have something to it for him to really booster it up.
I will never.
Well, I want to go into something here, but put Marcos's comment up real quick.
I will never give the Snyder Cut numbers.
This is also why
Marcos's comment.
Yeah, I'm looking for it. I think this is also why we should see Henry Cavill and Dwayne Johnson on screen, because I think everybody's going to want to see them fight. I mean, can you imagine what that would be like?
This is something that's wanted, and Marcos is putting some numbers up there that are very important to AT&T.
Wait, is that across Twitter or Instagram or both?
I'm assuming all across all of his social media.
Well,
Force Light also mentions that Dwayne, because we've talked about this before, Keith. Dwayne's agent, his ex-wife, is also Henry Cavill's agent.
Yes.
So when she fights for Dwayne, she's also fighting for Henry. So it's a big fight, and I don't think it's a big fight with AT&T. It's a big fight with Warner. But going back over, we got Geekosity up on the screen, and we follow Mikey Sutton. Mikey Sutton has a batting average of about 1,000, and the guy is very accurate. In fact, to my knowledge, I don't think he's been wrong on one scoop that he's done. He's a 37-year industry pro, and he has a lot of real networked people, pros in the business that he talks to, and he has been pushing that the restoration of the Snyderverse is going to happen, and most likely, as Keith and I have talked about too, is going to be on HBO and not at Warner. But it all depends on the Batman and how it does theatrically.
Yeah, and again,
be a flash in the pan.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, I look at it this way. There's, you know how I always keep saying that there is so much in DC that they've never really just dug into as far as owning all this IP. And you notice what HBO's been trying to do for the longest time, which is replicate the success of Game of Thrones. By getting rid of the New Gods film, you can actually turn that into an exclusive HBO series called The Fourth World, where you're able to bring in all of the characters instead of just some of the characters that we saw just in Zack Snyder's Justice League. You only saw half or even really a fourth of the characters that are a part of it. There is a whole story laid out. Yeah, 3.
All right, here comes a challenge, Keith. That Umbrella Guy is in the chat. What's up, That Umbrella Guy? We love you.
Yeah, I was just about to say, he brings up a good point that they are $152 billion in debt.
I think a lot of that comes from CNN.
I would just like to say they could solve all of it by just getting a ukulele and singing Yum Nub with a weird mustache. Tug knows what I'm talking
Funny
about.
thing is about a service provider is that debt doesn't mean anything to a service provider.
Yeah. No, it doesn't.
So that could be $1 trillion in debt. It wouldn't matter because they have an infrastructure that's already built. They have a constant flow of customer service. Services for customers to use. I mean, unless everyone cancels AT&T, they're fine.
Yeah. But how much faster would they get out of debt if they put Henry Cavill?
They don't want to be out of debt.
Dwayne Johnson fighting together on screen.
No. It's not about being out of debt at this point. We learned that from Netflix. Netflix went $3 billion in debt. Okay, and they're still going. Look, a lot of people, myself included, was saying 2 years ago that hey, they can't keep borrowing money like this. They're still around, and they're number one. Okay, so debt, as Script is trying to say, doesn't really mean that much, and especially with AT&T, given how they make their money. Hold on, let me do this for the ladies. Cavill. Anyway,
no.
We said Henry Cavill so many times, we started attracting attention from the ladies.
That Star Wars girl has joined us.
Hey.
Hey, Star Wars girl, did Wikipedia unblock you?
Why would they block her?
I think she's currently going through her Twitter feed looking for the one where he was doing pelvic thrusts and looking at the camera like a couple weeks ago.
Even she admitted that Henry Cavill has blue eyes and she's not attracted to blue eyes. But since I have the floor and I'm going to fucking keep it for a little bit, thank you very much. All right. So this is my thing on this. All right. First off, we found out just before the show came on that Joe Manganiello, who plays Deathstroke in the DCEU, is also on board with restoring the Snyderverse. So
that's another job for him.
Yeah,
he wants to work. I don't get why actors are like, people are surprised or excited when an actor says, "Hey, I want to keep working on it as a character in a role." I mean, of course they do. Do you ever see an actor say, going up there, like, you know what? I got cast as Deathstroke. I really don't want to play him. I don't want the money. I don't want
could you imagine that?
Come on, let's not blow those out of proportions. It's actors who remember, acting jobs are difficult to get. Not everybody gets them. Even the ones with biggest names don't always get the jobs they want. So anytime there's something up there that gives them an opportunity to keep working and getting those paychecks, they're going to say okay. Like, do you really think a lot of the actors are going to, I mean, we hate Star Trek Discovery, but those actors are very grateful for that job, even though it's a terrible show.
It's like when Will Wheaton steps up for Discovery.
Yes. Or you see him on some CW show. Just
Wait, don't say that. He has a habit. Remember, he was
Kurtzman. No,
Gary, you're giving him ideas because he has the ability. Remember, he has been trained by the Traveler. Remember, so he could probably go through time, whatever he wants to be as Wheaton, and tell Mikey Spock to shove it.
I'm sorry. That's
that's
that idea.
Good timing on that.
That hurt me inside, Fat Steven. You just killed me a little bit with that.
Dude, the fact that they managed Q is coming back, it's already they're grasping at straws. Like, come on.
Remember, 25% different Q.
What? So what? He's just not going to talk, or he's 25% going to say different things? Like, what's
he has
the
gray
difference?
hair now.
I could take 25% less Will Wheaton.
All right, so anyway, that's one of the reasons why Snyder's pushing so hard for his own fucking Snyderverse, because he would like to work also. It's also why he misrepresented his movie a bit, and
a bit grossly.
Grossly. I was being nice, but anyway, I'm not here to be nice. I'm just here to be honest.
Can we have Will Wheaton fight Henry Cavill?
No.
That would be a
go away.
That'd be like a grown man smacking a baby around.
Actually, the thing that they're building up to, though,
grown man.
The thing they're building up to, I think, though, is going to be Shazam versus Black Adam, because that's the old DC feud right there. I mean, whether or not the fans want Cavill, Black Adam, I think it's going to be Shazam, Black Adam.
You mean Shazam?
Shazam, whatever they said. I don't know. He's still being called Black Adam on all the posterage. So you tell me. Is it Shazam? Is it Black Adam? I don't know.
Here's the difference, though. As I continue to state, you've got nobody who's actually in charge of DC Films that actually knows what they're doing. Okay? No. The person who they currently have is just greenlighting anything as long as Snyder's name is not on it. And that's a very dangerous thing to do. If Warner Brothers currently decides that they're going to do their own version of Captain Marvel, because that's what I call him, because that's his name, versus Black Adam.
No, it was retconned. It's officially Shazam now.
Yeah.
No, that's not it. His original name was Captain Thunder, but then they went with Captain Marvel.
Yeah. But since 2011, Shazam is his official name. They've retconned it out.
DC is an idiot. Yes, we know.
Yeah. Anyway, if you want the current people who think a lot of what they've been doing is actually good for DC, you go ahead and let them set this up. Personally, I think what Dwayne Johnson wants is, I don't know if he really wants to control everything himself directly, but what he wants is a capable, functioning universe that could be right up there with how they're able to deliver for the crowds that are out there. And again, there's a lot of stuff that Warner Brothers has never really tapped into. These people are idiots because they don't know what they own. And The Rock at least has an idea. I'm not saying
I think he's got a better idea than they do. He definitely does.
Yeah, he can. Well, I mean, it's just you're currently asking a lot of the people that are currently working in Warner Brothers. And I'm telling you right now, the current head of DC Films, unless things change, unless a lot of these rumors have been false about a lot of the behind-the-scenes goings-on of the Batman, somebody is on the clock, and I think he knows it. And AT&T, if they really wanted to teach Ann Sarnoff and Toby a lesson, would just remove DC Films from their complete control and set them off to the side as their own individual thing. I know that's not something that normally happens, but it would be better for the future of DC Films for them not to be controlled by the current losers that are running Warner Brothers.
Well, you're missing one aspect that's really important within that possibility, and that is Greg Berlanti.
Mm-hmm.
All of this stuff is tied up through CW, Warner Brothers, and CBS for their DC properties on TV. If they were to make their own, technically rebuild a DC Studios, they would have to sever all those contracts, which they're not going to do because, again, in order for those shows to make money, they have to package them and sell them internationally for a bloated cost. In fact, this was the first year they couldn't sell it as high as they wanted to because there's no Supernatural. And they don't have another show that's as popular as that to increase the cost, which you'll notice is why a few of those Berlanti shows are being canceled and their budgets are being temporarily moved over to the remaining shows that have just launched over the last 2 years.
You know, here's the other thing, though. What you have is some of those originally some of the DC shows that were online, Titans and Doom Patrol.
Oh, from the DC universe, yeah.
Yeah, DC Universe. Those seem to be performing a little bit better than a lot of the CW stuff. Could they survive?
Stargirl did great numbers compared to all of the CW stuff, even though Stargirl was a little off. I think
Berlanti is coming to the end of his complete dominance of a lot of that. I'm not saying he's going to get fired. I'm not saying he won't do DC stuff. What I'm saying is that it would be good if AT&T were to dial back the clock to what they were doing 10 years ago, 15 years ago, by allowing other people to come in and take some of these DC properties that Berlanti doesn't want to use because he's not using everything. You know,
why does Rock's head look so tiny?
Because you
have something like you have something like Pennyworth, which I think just completed its second season.
So amazingly, because nobody I know is watching it.
I know, but it is a very well put together show. I keep telling people.
Well, production-wise, it's great. Writing-wise, it's garbage. It's Bruno Heller.
Yeah, it's a good show for what it is. But there are other avenues to go with a lot of the DC IP that Berlanti either chooses not to go down with or not to pursue at all. And that's
or
fine.
Is it just he's not capable of doing it?
No, it's not that. You understand, Berlanti pitches about 6 DC shows for development a year, and most of them do get rejected because they're not very good.
Yeah, well, that's what I meant by capable, not his position, just how bad he is.
No, he tried doing a Vixen show, which they basically said, no, you're not doing that, and then he managed to strong arm them to do a cartoon special of it, which nobody watched, not only because it was kind of limited in its scope of advertisement, even though it was like free and available to every single person who had
I remember that
a following to the I guess the CW Arrow show and the Flash, but it was also really, really terribly written. And then they tried forcing it in by introducing her as a secondary character on some series, and then they did it with The Legends of Tomorrow, which that show had been reformatted 3 times since its inception, because it keeps on dropping in the ratings to the point where the only rate it survived is becoming a meta mockumentary of itself, so to speak.
I like Legends, okay?
Legends is probably the most easily to watch one because it is making fun of itself constantly. Yeah. And everything.
I only made it through 1 season of that one.
But the first season is the weakest.
The first 3 are the weakest.
I couldn't stand any of them.
They all became unwatchable.
Well, there's a lot of DC content that could actually be done much better by other people. I'm not saying Berlanti shouldn't do this. He should continue to do what he's doing. But you should bring more people in and handle everything like they did before, like with iZombie.
Well, yeah.
Oh, I want to see them do Legion with the same guy who designed the Eternals costumes.
He's very much trying to be the TV Kevin Feige, and he just doesn't have the organization skills or structure to do that. What's up, Tug?
Hey, thanks for joining us.
Holy. You're muted.
Well, that was an amazing discussion. I am so glad we had that.
Nobody wants to talk to you, Yeti.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
There he is.
Hey, Tug. Congrats on all your book projects, eh? They're going well.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Is that really him?
Oh, got echo.
Yeah.
That's my bad. I'm boomering the stream up is what I'm doing.
No,
man, I was listening to that WB talk, man, and I thought, good God. Yeah, WB, every time they make a good move, the problem with AT&T or WB, they can't get out of their own way. It's like so many of these companies, but WB is like a screw-ups personified.
Over the last 15 years, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, man. I mean, we were talking about the $152 billion, and fair enough, AT&T, they don't have to worry about it, but at the same time, you can tell that 0.31 debt ratio is scaring the shit out of it. I mean, imagine like 31% of everything that you have for an empire like they have is made up of debt. That's fucking crazy.
Oh, it is crazy, but to their advantage, it allows them not to have to pay as much in taxes at the end of the year. That's why they need the debt. They don't need it to be that much, but it's a very strange form of accounting that they use in order to leverage that up, because again, they have lots of insurances on their film projects and their properties, and if they ever want to get some liquid cash, all they have to do is leverage the debt to one of those properties, boom, and they can write it off and get whatever money they need in a tight span. But I mean, for investors and like your major stockbrokers or stockholders and stuff, they're not happy about that, but the company itself, they don't really care, and that's what's kind of frightening.
Yeah, I mean, having that much, what was weird is watching all of the stuff that they did for HBO Max, trying to make it work, how much money they spent. I mean, it's crazy when you think about profitability. There's no way that HBO Max will be profitable within 7 years for all of the money that they gave away. Like Godzilla versus Kong, just by itself, we know it cost them $250 million to put that on their platform, and they probably gave away.
Well, once again, with the communication company, they're in it for the long haul. They have a their scope is far further than in the way studios think.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to congratulate you, Gary, for transitioning that way.
Some of it is intentional because they are trying to purposely buy up as much
Denning,
property as possible to put on and then drown out the competition until they're no longer able to sustain themselves. So that's going to be a little bit intentional before they make profit because they got to keep spending. This is a war of attrition.
They also prove they can do pretty much any fucking thing they want. They were like, "Hey, we're going to take 17 of your movies and fuck you. We're going to put them on our platform. What are you going to do about it?"
Yeah. No, it's really, really funny. But the other part too to also consider is that, as weird as it sounds, AT&T is kind of on the cutting edge for your internet speeds and reliability. Even though their service is terrible, the technology that they have is a few years ahead of most of their competitors. So they've got that also to their advantage. So if they can upgrade their service and their customer service relations and how they manage to get their network out to more people, yeah, they're going to be in for a while. And I think they're investing around like $6 or $7 billion on that alone just for this year. So that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, they'll be using that as a way to promote their own internet. You get this service as soon as you buy our package, and that'll end up boosting their sales down the line, which helps them take over more of the market. So they're probably using it as almost a gift bag.
What I was wondering when they made these moves, I always thought they're trying to tank movie theaters. I wonder if they actually expected. We're seeing Godzilla versus Kong is performing. I mean, it's performing way better than expected. And I wonder if they anticipated that, because I always get the feeling, all these moves are, like you're talking about, making this more and more insular. So when they see that, are they like, fuck, what the hell is going on? Or
what's funny about Godzilla and Kong in general is that even AMC's stock went up, and that's like heaven and hell having a fight right there.
Yeah.
Going out. Yeah, AMC's stock went up because of the Godzilla and Kong. Because even though it might be just a popcorn flick, and some people might like it, some people might not like it, they're always picking it apart. It's still somewhere to get out of the house and to escape for a few hours, so you're not looking at four walls. And a lot of people are taking that to their advantage, especially with the states opening up.
And Steven, there's something I want to expand on that you just said: the popcorn flick. Yeah. How much popcorn. Are people trying to, or just? That's what they desire right now. They just want to see a fun movie. They just want a popcorn flick.
But Yeti, it's not just that. If we're going back to let's say from March 2020 till now, this is a basis thing as well. Everyone has looked at four walls and whether or not you're called an essential service. Everyone has had things taken away, and it gets to the point now where even if it's not a good movie, they're not even interested in Godzilla and Kong. They're going to go out just because they get to go out. So they're getting that attrition of extra sales on top of it because people just want to have fresh air, and it's something to do. It's a dedicated target. Kong.
I think it's going to be a little bit of both there, because
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, a little bit of both, just because the popcorn flick is attracting them, but they are so pent up. It's giving them the reason to go out, because I know as soon as I saw that movie, I loved it. I wanted to see it again. It was just fun. I wasn't worrying about all this, identity politics being shoved into the movie. It was like, okay, there's two monsters fighting. I can get behind that. And maybe my bar is starting to lower right now. But
I don't know. We've all been starved from not just socializing, but also quality entertainment. So if all you're eating is like, it's the Eddie Murphy joke. If all you're eating is like really like sand or something, and someone hands you a cracker, that's a really good cracker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what is happening here.
Well, this falls into what we've talked about before, is that when you consume shit for too long, you become a shit connoisseur. Oh, that's good shit. And that's really bad shit, and that's mediocre shit that you can tolerate.
And that's
this one's got corn in it.
But
that one's got corn in it. It's my favorite.
But it's like what I was trying to say before. Like, yes, it's added on, and that's adding to the bonus of sales. But it's going to die out eventually when people have seen it a couple times. I don't think there's another movie coming out that's going to produce that. So what this is pretty much like an Easter egg that came on Easter weekend. Not trying to sell everyone who doesn't celebrate, and everyone's going for that chocolate egg because it's there. This it's like, in a way, I feel like it's also been like a teased freedom, and they're using that movie ticket appropriately. And I hope the next movie, whichever is coming out, will do the same thing, because people are getting stuck at home. They're going crazy. They're going stir crazy. Like up here in Canada, we've had our lockdowns in our 30 days. We have nothing going on. This has been going on for a full year and a half almost. It's ridiculous. So
I like that. I like that the Godzilla vs. Kong made. Let's see. Let me look at the exact number. It made $136,500,000 in China. Okay, that's just China. And Birds of Prey made $117 million internationally in its whole run. So basically, it's made like fucking almost 20 million more in China than Birds of Prey made on its whole run.
And in better condition, and in worse, like in Birds of Prey had better conditions socially than they do now.
Well, better condition. It had better conditions for one reason: no one went to the theater to see it. Like you can watch Goku and Frieza fight it out in the theater, and no one would get hurt. That's how empty the theaters were. Well, nobody liked that. Nobody liked. No,
it was a disaster of a movie. Like, that thing broke me. I tried doing a roast of it, and it killed me inside. I hear it, and I get memories and flashbacks. It triggers PTSD of watching that thing several times to do a roast.
That's because you got to change how you view it. I mean, it is a concussion movie.
I have so many movies like that. Yeah. You know, that's why I don't like covering comics anymore, because I'll find a comic every now and then. I think, that sucks. It's funny. But most of the time, it's depressing. I'm like, God, I'm not reading that shit.
God, Tug, I have a question. Tug, I have a question to ask you that. Have you actually dwelled into the Invincible series yet? And what have you thought about it, if so?
Invincible? Oh yeah. You mean the? Have I delved into the Netflix series, or do you mean have I read
the Amazon series? And
I'm on 3 right there. I'm on the I'm on the one that people say like it falls apart at somewhat. They have some issues with. Through 2, it's been good. I've enjoyed the way that's put together. Now 3, I hear there's identity politics in. I'm afraid of it. So.
See, that's the problem. I've gone in and I've watched up to 4, and like I even had to ask Script to verify. And like the things that people are pointing out, they're looking for these things. It's very minimal. And honestly, if you can enjoy it for what it is, and the little woke things pop up, they're fine. It's like a serviette you're just gonna wipe your mouth and throw away. The show itself is productly it's sustaining itself. It's great.
Well,
like it was a cartoon with an eyeball popped out.
Well, that's the problem with The Boys. You know, The Boys, in my opinion, again, you can disagree with this, but when I watched it, make fun of everybody. I don't give a shit. Make fun of everybody. Everybody's fair game, you know? Just don't get stuck on one thing, and don't preach, don't talk down to me. Just sit here with me and throw rocks at shit, because that's what I like to do. I want to offend everybody. I want to have fun. I'm a troll, man. Come on.
Now with Invincible, I'm not convinced that they weren't poking fun at it, because it a little bit seemed satirical. So I'm not sure.
They probably were. I'm afraid that it's going to be. I want to go in. I don't want the internet noise in my head, because I like Invincible, and I'm also like, hey, all those comics that are sitting around that were worth dog shit before, now they're worth money. I'm happy. Somebody gave me, what's hilarious is somebody gave me an Invincible 44 slabbed one time as a joke. They were like, haha, you like this? Well, here you go. I'm going to have to write them and tell them, hey, thanks for that 9.4. I think it's worth like $175 now.
No.
Appreciate it.
See, I'll say honestly, give it a shot. For people who thinks in here it's woke, guess what? Turn off the internet and have your own opinion. It doesn't matter.
That's what people need to do, dude. I mean, honestly, that's what, like I said, I have to be in the right frame of mind. I can't have that noise in my ear when I go watch something.
No. And it's like I see a small minority screaming that it's woke, and like I've even had to talk to Script, like, is there anything really changing that's that affecting of it? And he's like, no. And he recently read all the issues of the comics. I don't know what he did.
Yeah, I binged the whole comic book in like a week.
Yeah, I mean, they have by the way, if people haven't picked them, if you've never picked up the series, they have the 3 Monster Deluxe volumes. Those are pretty good. Like, you can just pick them up. You can pick the whole series up for under $100. So it's you could.
I know somebody's clipping their nails. What the fuck is that?
What is that?
Can't imagine.
Jesus Christ T-shirt.
For those who don't like feet, we're sorry. We're not affiliated.
We thought it was Yeti doing his claws.
No, I have enough respect to wait till I'm off a stream.
Yeah. Now, I do play with a knife every now and then on there, but that wasn't me.
It would have been even better if it was. Oh God.
No, it's hilarious. You know what's really bad is like I live in the South. I live in Tennessee. I could walk right out. I have a screen or a glass door right in front of me. I could literally walk out. I've got a handgun over here beside me. I could walk out and start shooting in the middle of it. Nobody would give a shit. Like nobody would care. They'd just be like, that's normal. You know?
I'm in Texas. When you can walk into a supermarket with an AR-15 on, you let me know.
Well, we can pretty much do whatever we want. Nobody. I mean, I'm from small town USA. We can do whatever the fuck we want, pretty much. Nobody bats an eye. I was
actually really excited because they took the laws off in Texas where you can only have a knife of a certain length and everything. I'm like, oh, holy shit! I can start wearing my katana all over the place now.
They did that here too. I like to carry. If you really want to intimidate somebody, obviously have a gun, just in case you ever need it. But I like to carry a straight razor, because I tell you, like, you pull a straight razor on somebody pulls a knife on you, that's intimidating. They pull a straight razor on you, that's creepy. That's scary shit.
I just pulled a portrait out of Kathleen Kennedy with the fade in underneath her. They all fade the hell
Sharpen
out.
The edges of it.
That's a little too far, man.
Well, it's not like I showed a nude of Brie Larson going, "You like my board of wood?"
Hey, there are laws against torture. You know that.
I know.
not there.
That's not cool, man. That's not cool.
But then wouldn't Hollywood be torturing us first because they were telling us what we should like? Isn't that how it
I
works?
agree, yeah.
Yes, I think that's what half our conversations are, how they are trying to torture us.
Did you guys see that that video from Spirit Airlines where they were kicking off the
Yep.
That's crazy.
Oh,
man.
are you talking about the baby? And then because
Yeah,
they wear a
the
mask,
two-
and
Oh,
then
God,
the
yeah,
autistic
it's
kid.
just-
Oh,
the
my God.
lady's pregnant too.
Oh.
That's sitting there. The mom, if you look at her, she's very pregnant. And there's a 2-year-old eating. And actually, I looked up their rules. The people on the airline kept saying it's 5 years and older for masks. Actually, it's not. It's 2 years and older. But if they're eating, it's totally within bounds. So
What bothered me was the other passengers freaking out.
Pickles.
I'm like, it's a baby.
It's
Let
a
it go.
baby.
yeah.
It's
What kind
a
of pickles?
baby. I don't care if they're
I was
under
about to
10,
say product
it's
placement.
cool.
Well, the problem. Okay, I went on vacation recently, and we went into a store. Okay, we couldn't get any fucking body to help. We go to the back. My wife's looking around, and I'm bored out of my mind. It's hot in there, so I pull my mask down over my face a little bit. I'm talking to her for a second. We got help then. Bam, rude as fuck too. Now, in that situation, I could have escalated very quickly because they were being douchebags. But instead, I told my wife, put everything back. Fuck them. We'll walk out, just leave. We'll just leave this place and that'll be good. But you see these situations where I'm not saying that customers are nice in a lot of this. Customers escalate, but fuck, if customer service didn't die in the time of the beer bug, it's definitely been, I don't want to say irreparably harmed, but it's been harmed pretty bad.
Tug, I had a question. Did you see the other two videos? First, let's go to the Calgary pastor with the pole.
Yeah,
getting them out, and then the police released a statement saying there was only one officer when clearly the video showed something.
Yeah,
else.
you
So
could see
already
it.
there's people out.
There's like 6 or 8.
And the second one, did you see the video about the guy that did the face mask, but he made the image on it of his lower face, and people were still freaking out, not really.
Yeah.
I like the.
I'd love
what was
that.
it too? God, what black rapper was it that the guy wore a face mask? It was like the lower half of it was a white dude with the lower half. It was like a black rapper. I can't remember, and people were freaking out about that shit. They were like, "It's cultural appropriation." I was like, "Are you kidding me? I
So that means they
appropriated
can't
his
use white
lower
toothpaste.
jaw. What are you
What
talking
is
about?
that? Like blackface of the 21st century? Is that what they're trying to say?
No, that's gifts. That's gifts. There was actually a post. Actually, did like a 1 minute fat minute. There was literally a guy who posted saying, "Dear white people, you're not allowed to use gifts. They're not of your skin color."
I saw that. Yeah,
and then at the bottom, you go through the posts. Right at the bottom, it says, "Well, I already muted this conversation, but if you want to spread your hate, you can pay me a Cash App." And I'm like, "Oh, so you're using hate pay?"
These people
Idiots.
amaze me. That's why I love Twitter, though, honestly, because I don't go online. Like here, we can have a civil conversation and have fun. This is fine. But on Twitter, I want to go into the lines, dude, and I just want to I want to kick Hornets, you know. And if I mute it afterwards, fuck it, it's fun. But
I would
T-shirt, that's appropriation. You can't do that.
I appropriated that Hornet's nest.
Am I appropriating?
I would like to see Jack Sparrow in the season.
Hey, Keith and I talked about this before because I put his face on mine once, and I said, "Is that not digital blackface I'm doing here? Can I get in trouble for that?"
I'm not even monetized, and I know I just got demonetized.
I'm appropriating this ass. How's that?
That is a nice ass.
Yeah, but I also has a goatee.
Oh my God, script doctor, you fucker!
Here, for everyone who likes Batwoman, there you go. That makes it better.
That makes it better, yeah.
So, I think we got pretty far off topic where we were.
We were hitting our hour point,
WB.
and I think we need to transition from Warner Brothers over to
Warner
CW and talk about this ridiculous reboot of Kung Fu.
Are you serious? Are we really going to be peeling all over the place? Are we really going there?
We should be peeling all over the place because you are peeling.
Do we want to show the trailer? It's only like a minute. No,
we want to kill people.
We will absolutely get hit by YouTube if you do it.
Okay, fine.
I'd rather put on a pair of nylons and find the closest belt.
Might make a good belt.
Yeah, CW is part of Warner Brothers, and they absolutely hit YouTube channels like ours. So,
yeah. Well, so this I don't know, Future Abomination came out. And I know I had the displeasure of reading some of the script, and oh my God, that was painful.
That bad? I haven't.
You couldn't finish it.
No, I didn't finish it.
Picture Discovery, but CW decided to write it.
Okay, well, first off, it's important to know that, Kung Fu has a special place in my heart because it's a show from way back in my youth. My grandfather and I used to watch that show with David Carradine, so it's special. Plus,
Same here with my dad.
You watched it with my granddad too? God damn,
yeah,
he
with
knew
your
everybody.
Dad and your grandfather.
Oh wow, that's cool. My dad wasn't even in this country back then. But
it's one of my favorite Bruce Lee shows.
Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Don't worry, I'm getting there. But yeah, so. First off, I'm going to say I don't mind that they put a female lead in the thing. That doesn't bother me. From the very little bit of trailer I have seen from the martial arts, from a martial artist perspective, most of the guys that she's kicking around and stuff appear to be close to her size range. Now, I have seen a smaller woman take out a bigger man, but that was with very, very careful pinpoint techniques to appropriate areas that could put a guy down. I mean, of any size.
Was that the video of Queen Latifah at the buffet?
No, that would just make a man sick. But seriously, what I don't want to see in this show is I do not want to see a small woman just, taking the shit out of like 250-pound dudes, even if she has kung fu, because I'm kind of like, that's a little unrealistic unless you're using, pressure point techniques or kill techniques and things like that.
Well,
which I don't think they're going to do.
Script, smaller females should always use weapons, knives, sticks.
Weapons would be acceptable. One thing I do like is a lot of her kicks are low kicks, which that's good. That's good martial arts form because you never throw a high kick. It's not the 80s. You throw a high kick.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Kick, you're going to get killed.
I have a question related to the kicks, though. Does she kick an arrow well?
I have not seen her kick any arrows in the show yet. No Mulan references. We don't need any Uyghur camps.
Yeah, this thing is dripping of Batwoman, like the feeling that you get when you see Batwoman on screen. It's
not really
divisive.
Actually, that is a good point right there because their tagline is not all heroes wear capes. So, and with Greg Berlanti on board on it, it's pretty clear that this is a very subtle attempt by CW to try to pull in the superhero watching crowd to watch this. Plus, the timing of this suggests that they are trying to get into some of that Shang-Chi money from Marvel.
This has been in the works for years prior to Shang-Chi.
And I often wonder if Berlanti's meetings also consist of like a portion of it being like, how woke am I allowed to be on this show?
It goes deep
how
into
woke will
it.
you let me be?
I was waiting for a scene where they start, blowing the CPP. They were going so hard into this stuff. It was.
What do you watch on the internet, Yeti?
No, there's one line in the script, and I can quote it, and it says, "Wow, the first time being white doesn't have an advantage." That's actually spoken.
That's a literal line.
That's beautiful. Oh, hey guys, I gotta bounce. I gotta go do something. But hey, I owe one of you a live stream. So
that's Fat Steven. That's
Steven, I owe you. So I'm throwing that out there for sure. But yeah, hey, congrats on your 1,000, man. When you get to monetization, when those nickels and dimes pour in, you'll be like, yes, I'm glad to share that with you too.
Where the fuck was Tug when we got our 1,000? Huh? Why didn't we get any congrats? I was there in spirit. Fuck you, Yeti.
I was there in spirit. No.
It was good.
Hey, I'm doing more live streams. I've dealt with some illness issues. They knocked me down for about 5 months, but I'm back and I'm rolling hard lately. So
we watch you pretty religiously. So
yeah.
I appreciate it, guys. Yeah, man. I'm trying to get back to live streaming and everything else. So
please,
I'll be doing more live streams. Just yell at me, and again, if you see me like fucking off in the chats, just yell at me. Be like, hey, come on here.
Please play some ukulele for me today.
You're doing the other Gary, huh?
Well, thank you, Tug, for coming by. Really appreciate it. That was awesome to have him on here. I want to see if he had anything he needed to plug, because I know he's always got comics in the work.
That little umbrella.
I'll ask him later, and if there is, I'll put it in the description, where you can also find my fellow panelists, who you should subscribe to, because they are awesome people, except for Gary.
It only took an hour for him to promote us, guys. Only an hour.
The other Gary.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe we can pull some more viewers in by telling everybody, hey, Gary's on here from Nerdrotic. It's not entirely a lie, right? I really want to give this show a chance, but seeing who's attached to it, seeing what it's about and everything is making me think that it's going to be another trash fire. And
they have to translate that markings on a sword.
Okay, and part of what makes this an extra bit of an insult is, for those who don't know about it, viewers who don't know about this, the original Kung Fu was the brainchild of Bruce Lee, and he was kind of cut from the whole process because various reasons relating to not being white. But
execs didn't feel that American television was ready for an Asian lead.
Yes. However,
so they got David Carradine and said he's Asian.
Yeah,
he's half Asian.
Yeah,
which part?
He was half Asian. The lower half, the part that was in. Yeah. Anyway,
but his brother doesn't look anything like him.
No.
I always found David Carradine's Kung Fu. Well, they couldn't show that much of it, for one thing, back on TV, so they could only have like up to 3 minutes of martial arts, I think, or 5 minutes of martial arts at most in an entire episode. That's why you didn't see much of it in the show. But the other thing is, David
Carradine studied Tai Chi.
Yeah. Yeah, he wasn't very good. I mean, he was very lumbering. He was very slow. Yeah.
He knew dance and wasn't very good. Yeah.
So Tai Chi.
Well, no, Tai Chi is effective.
He threw a lot of bent knee kicks, which looked really weird.
But the other thing, though, is if people are not aware of it, there was actually a sort of a comeback to Bruce Lee, because Warrior that appeared on Cinemax is a brainchild of Bruce Lee. It's basically what Kung Fu should have been. And that was a great series. It only had 2 seasons, but man, the martial arts action in that was fucking great.
Shannon, his daughter, was the executive producer on that.
And yeah, it did have the Bruce Lee Productions name on it. It was a great show. Had some great casting. I can't say enough good things about Warrior. Good martial arts, just good overall, good period piece. I don't know what's going to happen with this Kung Fu show. I don't expect it to be much.
We know.
I think, though, that Warrior isn't canceled yet, has it? Because I thought they were going to have a 3rd season.
I haven't heard anything about a third season. I hope they have a third season because they left it wide open for a third season, but I believe it's done.
Okay,
Have you guys
but
read my
Keith
book,
has to take
Santa's
off, so
Husband?
let's just say bye. Thanks for coming by, Keith. We appreciate you being here.
Okay, thank you guys.
Hey, get to feeling better, buddy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
please
Well,
do better.
we'll see how I feel, but
Don't
wish me
step
luck.
on the
Wednesday
Wednesday
shower.
and Friday.
Yeah.
I know, but I got to go to work tonight, so I'll have to be off more.
Oh yeah,
than-
it's 7:00. Go get some rest, buddy.
yeah.
Rest up.
So-
Thank you for being here.
Anytime, guys. Have a good one.
Okay, see you later.
All right, now he's gone. We can talk about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we all kind of know how this show is going to go, especially after reading that script. The way it was going, it was only a couple pages in before there's a bunch of identity politics. The first line that there's like, oh, have you told everyone you're gay yet? Like, okay, so we know this is front and center. It's, there's nothing wrong with that. But the way that they do it, just like in Batwoman, it's so front and center and like in your face. It's like slapping you with a wet fish. Just some dead fish that they're hitting you with over and
You
over
have
again.
weird fetishes, bro.
Yeah,
Hey,
you've
man.
got a whole lot of
Don't-
fish thing going on. But
Yeah.
one of the
He's a
things
little-
Don't
that
kink shame. Don't kink shame.
I'm not king shaming, but you're slapping yourself in the fish. What else are you doing? You weird Chevy Chase weirdo.
Well, here's the fascinating thing about the CW show. So they'll take a superhero, for instance, like the Green Arrow, and they break him down into various different parts. So instead of him being a guy who's kind of good with computers, good at investigation, and also good with a bow and arrow, they're like, no, we're just going to make him good with a bow and arrow. We're going to get another guy that's going to be his driver, who's going to be good at being the moral compass and investigating. And then you've got the chick that's going to be the good at computers. So now you have three characters doing the job of what one character should be, and those three aspects are what help make the character the superhero, because they're able to do things that with multiple different skills that no individual can do on their own. And that same formula has been applied here. So the main character, I think her name is Nikki, all she's good at is kung fu. And then you've got her little brother, who's a doctor, who's clearly going to be bandaging her up after fights and stuff, who happens to be gay. And then you've got her older sister, who's a hacker and socialite. And then you've got her ex-boyfriend, who works in the DA's office. And then you've got some other
like
guy at
Daredevil.
the rec center, who is also like another fighter, who's going to be her partner and possible love interest or love triangle with her ex. Like it's so team oriented that there's no actual focus to make the main character have room to develop on their own and actually be something that's kind of admirable and interesting. So you break them down to these basic single dimension functions. Yeah, you end up getting a really paint by numbers boring product.
Oh,
So
Well, like I
CW
said, it's another superhero show. It's basically what it is.
Oh, I don't know about that because the training, it's like, oh my God, she's amazing. And it didn't feel like there was that progression. So some superhero shows, it shows them struggling. This one was just like, oh, she's great.
the best way to
Some
sum
parts,
up this, the best way to sum up the CW is crap weekly, because pretty much that's what it is. It's crap.
Can't write.
Weekly.
Yeah,
It can't write. Yeah, it's crap week. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. It's like you don't put expectations into it, because honestly, it's going to turn into another Batwoman, and someone's going to request like heel versus babyface to do a review, and we're going to watch him slowly use his soul to trying to understand why he's still watching this for the viewers.
Can he handle that after Batwoman though?
He gave up Batwoman already, didn't he? He's already roasting the new Discovery trailer. I've been following it. It's hilarious. The fact that they take First Contact Day for a day to release that is pathetic.
It can't be as bad as Batwoman, because Batwoman could do everying right there from the get-go, and anytime she had any
She can't hack
faults,
a
it was with the
computer.
tech.
And I quote, white superheroes don't save colored people. That is actually from Batwoman. So yes, it can get worse than that. Yes.
Oh,
God.
Let's not
CW
forget
can't
the
write,
stuff.
can't watch,
Can't win.
Can't watch.
can't win. Yeah.
this is why I like Godzilla versus Kong, because it was
Wrists.
just monsters fighting.
Oh, wait, be careful. Sean's in the chat and he hated it.
Oh my God, he hates it so much,
Oh,
but he's
no,
wrong. He's
Look at him, folks.
wrong opinion.
Sean hated it.
There was plot
You cut out all
holes.
the human stuff. It's actually pretty fun.
Yeah, you take all
Wait,
the
wait.
human stuff, and you
But you shouldn't have to edit the movie in your
Wait.
head in order to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Did anyone?
No,
Did
that's the
anyone?
problem. What's that, Steve?
Did anyone notice in Godzilla vs Kong that we had the Stranger Things girl, right? Elle.
Yes.
But we also had the fat Mikey boyfriend in there as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird that they had to take something from Stranger Things just to put him in Godzilla, even though he looks like he ate 2 Mikeys?
No.
Well,
But yet his hair grew up the top.
That sucked.
Yeah.
Actually,
since Deadpool 2, they've been trying to build that kid's career.
Yeah, since Deadpool 2, I noticed. I was like, yeah.
Oh my God, Sean says we're all dead to him.
Can we get a hashtag started on Twitter, please?
Like an abstract.
Can we get a
hashtag Sean Crumble hates everything.
No, we can make a new hashtag. Hashtag Sean Crumble loves Godzilla and Kong versus Kong. Just put it on your Twitter and tag him. See how much he loves it.
Yeah, we could get that trending.
We can probably get that trending.
Sean Crumble loves Godzilla versus Kong.
You really had to turn your brain off for Godzilla versus Kong, because it's kind of like if you start thinking about the fucked up physics of going into the hollow earth and its gravity and the power sources and all this other bullshit, that plus the fact that they were able to go through high level or high security bases with no locks, no pattern recognition, no cameras, no guards, and all this other stuff, and I'm just kind of like, yeah, let's not think about this movie too much. Let's just enjoy big monsters beating on each other. That's really what you came to see.
Yeah, I don't even disagree with you there. A couple years ago, I probably would have been, kind of disappointed by it, a little angry, just because, the human parts not that great. There's a bunch of elements, but after the last decade, it's like this movie came along, and I'm just like, oh my God, thank you. I just want to see monsters hating each other. I didn't care about the rest.
That's what I went for. I didn't go for any of the human elements.
You just exposed the fact that you've been conditioned to
I know this falls into the whole thing that I brought up earlier, that you eat, if you're fed a steady diet of shit, you eventually become a shit connoisseur. And Godzilla versus Kong is kind of a shit movie when it comes to part of the story.
Well, it's technically but it gave you a coli poisoning of the entertainment industry.
But also it gave you a great life hack, though. You can use a gun holster to hold your Mickey.
That's right.
It gave you a great life hack right there. It was the perfect thing ever.
Yeah, Sean Crumble, you're just an angry feminist, in my opinion.
Ooh.
Wait, he got blue hair?
No, he took a shot at us. Says you guys are battered housewives of the entertainment industry.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, he's watching it.
I'm never watching that movie again, man. Like, I have no reason to watch that movie ever again. Like, there's nothing to it. It's empty.
Okay, to be fair, and I've been roasted for this before. I also did not like the Japanese Shin Godzilla film either. People were like, oh no, it was such a great social commentary on how useless the Japanese were in the face of the time. And I'm like, I don't fucking care about any of that shit. I want to see big monster destroy shit. Okay, that's what I fucking paid for.
That's why we go see them.
Yes.
We don't give two fucking shits for social commentary.
No.
On your fucking movies.
Yeah.
Like As we see here, Gary is now describing how much they don't care about shit commentary. Well, T-shirt the historian agrees about shit commentary. They would like to see giant-ass monsters fisting each other and knocking down billions.
Yes, exactly.
Sean Crumble loved that movie.
Yes.
What
the first Godzilla film was like totally joyless because it was like fucking, every 5 minutes. Actually, for most of the film, it was like fucking humans doing everything. You got more fucking footage of mutos doing all this shit.
He was trying to do his version of Jaws.
Well, he can go fuck himself. Who was that director? I don't ever want to watch his shit again because he's an asshole.
He did Monsters.
Why do you feel like a tarnished girlfriend that just got dumped? What is this?
I know.
What?
The first one had a much better story, and the acting was
Yeti.
better. But
Yeti.
the second, like
Yeti.
There was too little monster.
Yeti.
What?
I don't watch kaiju films for the story.
I know.
God damn
There's
it.
no story.
If you let me get
kaiju.
through this, I can explain where I'm going, because I want to say that we needed to get a mix of the kaiju fights that were in the third with the better story writing of the first,
Well,
but not as so far
with
down the line,
Yeah.
because there's too much of the people in the first. It's
Well, that's
just
what you got in Kong Skull Island. You got the great story and the kaiju.
no.
It was
Kong
gr-
Skull Island was just garbage.
Bullshit.
It was all shaky. It was like
No.
someone with
No, 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 no,
Parkinson's.
no, no,
was-
no.
was
Guys, can
filming
you
this
calm
fucking
down? You're
thing.
getting to the edge of a Pacific Rim job. Calm the hell down.
Oh, Pacific Rim was good too, except for the second one. The second one was shit.
Of course it was. It was all about that guy getting his.
And I did not like King of the Monsters either. I thought that was crap. But
yeah, King of the Monsters wasn't very good. And Skull Island, yeah, there was someone with Parkinson's was filming that thing. You couldn't see anything clearly. There were so many jump cuts and shaky cam. I got dizzy during that thing.
Is there something against Michael J. Fox? Is that what he's saying?
Yeah, but you got a sense of Skull Island. You got a sense of the environment. You had some decent world building. You had some funny characters. You actually didn't feel totally irritated when the humans showed up on the screen. You know what I'm saying?
You couldn't see.
Wasn't Brie Larson one of those humans?
Yeah,
what? She was.
Nobody cares about Brie Larson.
No, we didn't. I wasn't. I was too busy looking at what's his name being funny.
No. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Who? You're not
Skull
first
Island.
last.
Yeah. Skull Island was one of my least
Jackson
favorite.
Or the other? Who's the other guy?
The other guy. The funny dude who he's in the films and he does the thing.
He's Morning Down. He was also Talladega Nights as his partner, the magician.
Yeah. He looks kind of like Will Ferrell, but he's not Will Ferrell.
John C. Reilly?
Yeah, that one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was a great description.
He's kind of Will
Ferrell. Discount Will Ferrell.
Yeah, the other Will Ferrell.
Okay, speaking of movies that I particularly liked, I finally saw Alita: Battle Angel. That was fun. That was so fun. I'm so late to this party.
It was.
Oh man,
you're really late.
Yeah,
yeah.
2 years.
Yeah, I am extremely late, and I regret it because I watched that. I was ready to put it on again. Like, man, this thing is so much fun. The visuals were great. Yeah, people have probably heard all of these discussions 2 years ago.
I honestly thought I was going to be annoyed to shit and back about Alita's character herself, but it was actually enjoyable. It was kind of fun.
Enjoyable.
Yeah, it was fun to see her character just kind of develop and grow and experience new things. And it, the big eyes thing kind of like, but I got over it pretty quick.
Yeah. You get used to it pretty fast, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a couple things in the story that I don't think were streamlined enough, especially leaving it on such an open-ended to the sequel. It's half a movie. They didn't really complete an arc for the first, but I could forget all that because it was all fun. And it brought me, I just want to see more of the world. I really want to see this continue. I'm so in now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good film.
Yeah.
I mean, what could you say?
I don't know.
There's another film that I love that I also want to get a sequel pretty bad. I think there's a TV show in the works for it, but it doesn't get enough love, and that's Upgrade.
Oh, I know Upgrade. Yeah, that was a Netflix film. That was pretty cool.
How about this? Have you guys? Sorry, have you guys watched the new Meet the Cast trailer for Mortal Kombat by chance?
No.
Is there Johnny Cage?
No.
Okay,
no,
if you're going to focus just on if you're just going to focus on Johnny Cage, you're just giving in to everyone complaining about that one thing. You have to look at it. Even if we're not getting one character, the amount of care they put into the other characters in the fight scenes kind of makes up for it. So if there's no Johnny Cage, I can live with that.
Yeah,
you're not going to get a perfect movie.
It looked nice. I like the first trailer. I haven't seen the most recent ones, but I am excited for that movie because maybe I'm just in this part of my life where I just enjoying these fun things. I care a little bit less about how much story structure there is, even though it's really nice when you get that. It's just, I know what happens with Hollywood these days. It gets slammed with politics, and then I just want to turn it off.
Mm-hmm. Well, I kind of think that's what made the Aquaman movie fun, was the fact that they really didn't do any politicking. I mean, and it was, it was kind of like, I felt like Warner Brothers, Hamada himself or somebody just walked right up to the director and put a gun to his head and said, look, this is going to be the last film you ever make, and it's got to be about Aquaman. So I want you to make the best goddamn Aquaman film you possibly can and show as much world building and backstory in it as you possibly can. And he said, yes, boss, no problem. And
he said, wait, I have to use Jason Momoa as Aquaman, and I have to use Amber Heard as Mira.
But who actually? You have to think about it this way. Like from Aquaman, what do people mostly remember? Momoa shirtless. I don't think they really remember anything else about the SeaWorld battles, if you want to put it that way.
Not only that, there's that one moment where Aquaman comes out of left field with knowledge about like ancient Roman history. It's like, where did this come from? Like, why do you know this? Like, what of your character says that you would understand exactly what's going on here? Like, it was a very shoddy thing, but it did have one interesting theme, which is that they tried to make the Aquaman character, the Arthur Curry, a guy who likes to listen and is willing to listen and talk, which is like a play on the whole. He talks and listens to fish and aquatic life. So they scraped the surface on that, but I don't think they stuck the landing. And really, Fat Stevens right. Women loved that film because Jason Momoa worked out for about 3 months prior to shooting. Like, that's it. Yeah. Like there's nothing quotable about that movie. There's not a whole lot of anything that people talk about outside of Jason Momoa overall. So that's kind of not really good on its longevity.
No. Script. There was one thing though. A lot of the audience was very happy that Turd's character never pooped on Aquaman's bed. So they were very happy that never happened throughout the film. That was one thing the audiences were approved about.
I think they cut that for time. Yeah,
it's probably a deleted scene. You just hear a squatting sound. And,
well, I mean, there's also that joke where he's like, "We could have just peed on it," so that's close.
Well, I mean, it's like the last two X-Men movie. You may or may not have liked those films, but the two scenes with Quicksilver in it. Do you remember those scenes? They were the best part of the whole film.
They had Annie Lennox music playing with them.
Yes.
Like, you got when you got the Eurythmics on there, which granted, it's very expensive to get the Eurythmics in a movie.
Yep.
They're really, so that just shows their popularity, which means that everybody likes, or at least enough people like their music that people are gonna associate anything they see visually with it with something awesome.
Yes.
And don't get me wrong, those scenes with Quicksilver, they're funny, and they're a great play on what you can do with someone who travels as fast as he does. And that should have been the Flash on television.
Yes.
But they don't know how to do that because, number one, they're very, very cheap shows. And number two, they're terribly written. There's nothing inventive or interesting about it. I mean, one of the most common things of that first season, which is the Flash, like, how fast do I have to run on water? And it's like, well, they gave him a number. It's like, wait, he knows exactly how to achieve that number by running. Like, I don't know if I'm running like 5 kilometers an hour or 10 miles an hour. I can't gauge that. I'm not counting like stop posts and be like 1,000, 2, 1,000 to gain my speed. It doesn't make any sense. If anything, it'd be like, just run as fast as you freaking can and see what happens. Like, that's what you have to do for a character like the Flash or Quicksilver. You don't ask.
And it wouldn't even matter that much because I know there are shoes that you can buy right now that will help you run on water. You just have to hit it at a certain angle and it keeps that surface area going. You can only get a couple steps, but it's there. So if, fastest
Gary,
guy.
I'm sorry, I can't switch your spot. but the Flash for CW, I'm going to give it a little credit. The first 2 episodes were okay, but as it progressed, it turned into the Iris West show, and then it turned to the Iris Resting Bitch Face show. And it's not.
And she's a reporter that doesn't do any real reporting, which is also something.
No, but she's all of Team Flash.
So like a reporter.
Well, like a current day reporter, yeah.
Yes.
Twitter journalism and actual journalism is not the same thing.
Okay.
Let's go into the Volkswagen for an example, where they got all messed with by an April Fool's joke, and none of them did fact checking. The same thing with the fake Halo account for 343 Industries, who gave a fake letter. They believed it. Kotaku retweeted it and then linked to a sex toy picture, which was hilarious.
And well, see, this is something that was kind of disappointing about the whole Justice League thing. Is I had come out of the 2 X-Men movies thinking, wow, speedsters are really awesome. I want to see more speedsters. The Flash TV show. I really did like it because it was a nice departure from Arrow. Because Arrow was like dark and gritty and brooding and realistic, and Flash was like fun. I mean, God, they had King Shark every single season. I love King Shark. Okay, I don't care.
T-shirt. Let me tell you something quickly. Harrison Wells, right, from the Flash series?
Yeah.
He is now Neo Harrison Wells because he can travel through any point in time of the Harrison Wells memories and
I'm okay
with
as
that.
Much as
he's quantum leaping himself. Yeah,
he's
cool.
Literally ziggying his ball sack. That's what's going on.
Well, it's such a terrible made up character, and I remember when I read the pilot and I said, if you make this Harrison Wells guy's an actual if you either make him Eobard Thawne or make him like a character that's recurring, and he's not Barry Allen from the future trying to mess up things and manipulate the world and save Barry from all the strife, you've completely destroyed the show. And that ends up being the case because Tom Cavanaugh should have been Barry at like 60 and be like, I came back in time to spare you all the hardships and troubles that have happened. But no, they're like, no, he's just going to be this this guy who's kind of like, who's Eobard Thawne, who somehow stole the life of real Harrison Wells, which is a bullshit character.
Yeah.
And then they're just going to bring him back every season. And then they cast a guy to be Eobard Thawne, who's a really good actor, who's been in a whole bunch of stuff, and they never use him. And he looks like Eobard Thawne. And it's like silly. It just shows that they really don't have any money. Because again, when you see the first season of the show and there's lots of extras, background people, and elaborate shots, you're like, okay, yeah, they're spending the dollars. And then season 2, it's like, oh, we're always on the same standing set with the same 4 people for 44 minutes with a guest star villain.
Yeah.
Like they're broke. And they're broke because actors are taking more money, producers are taking more money, and the budgets don't increase because budgets on TV shows seldom ever increase.
Script, can I ask a question towards this, though?
Sure.
Do you think if they actually... I know Arrow, everyone loves Arrow, it had its good points and stuff, but do you think if CW handled this, let's say their hero series differently and went to the animation way, the same, like the way Invincible did, do you think it would have had a better outcome for longevity than it does now with the real-life nonsense we have now?
It depends on the people writing those and producing the animation version. Yeah.
Well, let's say if they have the same scripts, but they had a good animation studio to back it up. Do you think it would have had more promise than what's been going on?
No, because if they still had the same production, same scripts, you're still doing cartoon shows where they're sitting in rooms talking, as opposed to any third of action.
That's right. Coffee shop bullshit. I forgot. Oh my God.
And that's one thing that I enjoyed about Invincible is that those are few and far between scenes. Like they're very, very short, and then they spend a bit more time on the actual action and content so far. And if they keep that up for the remainder of the series, I think it will have a better shelf life than anything the CW has put out in the last 20 to 21 years.
Yeah, the scene with Invincible is like I've seen they had more villains being thrown through coffee shops than they actually had people sitting in coffee shops. I think
yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Something else that got me too was I really loved John Wesley Shipp in that show.
In the '90s series, yeah.
Yeah, well, not in the '90s series. I mean, yeah, he was great in that too. I love the '90s series too. But him coming back to play Barry Allen's dad in the Flash TV series. It was so good casting. The first season. Yeah. So good the first season.
Yeah. That's stunt casting there. That's what that is.
Sponge casting?
Stunt casting.
Stunt casting.
It's where they prey on the nostalgia of an existing actor to come in and perform a similar role or be a pseudo handoff of the baton to another character. They did the same with Mark Hamill. They brought him back as the trickster.
Yeah, that's true.
Stunt casting. That's what it. And Warner Brothers has this one thing that they do, where if you get involved with a DC property and they like you, which is 99.9% of the time, they bring you back as often as they possibly can.
Oh, cool.
Except if you're Henry Cavill.
Well, unless you're Henry Cavill, Michael Keaton, George Clooney, those guys. I mean, they like Michael Keaton. They don't have anything for him. But if you take a look at some of the animated stuff like that, you'll see a lot of familiar names keep popping up over and over, not just from the cartoon side of things, but also live action appearances. It's what they do. They have the DC side of things has a tight knit family. I mean, that's one of the things that they really pride themselves on. It's the only reason Tom Welling's getting money, aside from some of his guest spots on like this Devil show I think he's doing. But yeah, they that's what they do. Oh, yeah, Michael Rosenbaum is another guy that the only thing they like him for is the Flash. They like him a lot more as Wally West the Flash than they do as Lex Luthor, because even though he enjoys that character, he was a pompous ass that didn't do anything in 7 seasons other than like lecture poorly on historical events.
What I really want to see is them bring back Michael Keaton for an old Batman, where he's going about, training Nightwing or, a younger, I guess.
Everyone wants the Batman Beyond situation. Thing, Batman Beyond is also a big issue of contention with me. Not for the fact that he's training a new kid, it's just the fact that Bruce Wayne is unrecognizable as Bruce Wayne.
Okay, so if you scrap that part, but just bringing him in and then having him go up against the Joker, but they're all, they're both kind of sick of each other, just fighting all these years, and so that drives Joker to go a little bit more sadistic. And I think it'd be just amazing to see him And forget Batman
He's like
Beyond that. Just do
years
Nightwing,
old, right?
Yeah.
I know, but have an old guy doing more of the detective stuff, trying to get the next guy to come in to take the mantle. I think there'd be a great one-shot movie there.
I don't know.
I think
it depends on what you want to do it and how you want to take the angle. Because unfortunately, the one thing that's been hampering Warner Brothers a lot is the fact that they keep on drawing inspiration, sadly, from Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns.
Yes.
And the thing is, the numbers are decent, but they're not what they could be. I mean, if you were to take the Silver St. Cloud, Rupert Thorne criminal storyline from the 70s, from I believe like Denny O'Neil and Neil Adams' time, and you were to turn that into a straightforward detective drama, I'm pretty sure even with like a modest budget, it would take in a lot of money because people would be really, really engaged, not just with the mystery that's within that, but also the conflict of a character that not many people are familiar with outside the comics actually being one that's willing to have Batman give up being Batman to get married and end his crusade, so to speak. There's a whole lot of stuff and avenues there that hits all of your demographics, but Warner Brothers will most likely never do it because again, they bought into the Kool-Aid that Frank Miller did with that Elseworld story, and so many other comic book writers that didn't know how to write characters have copied that since its debut because again, people talked about it so much they end up following the trend as opposed to following the honest take of the character. And Frank Miller's take on Batman is not an honest take on it. It's basically, what do the criminals think Batman is, and then making Batman actually that as opposed to the projection that Bruce Wayne puts on criminals. So when the criminals think, yeah, he's an obsessive guy that hunts you in the streets and beats the crap out of you and throws you in jail, and then he writes it, so Bruce Wayne is really this obsessive guy that hunts people in the streets and beats them up and puts them in jail. It's like, no, that's not what Batman is at all. That's all the illusion. He's a detective who scares the crap out of people for an advantage because he's all by himself on the streets and completely outnumbered at every given turn. Like that's the character, and that's the genius of him, is that Batman is a very surgical type of character because his father was a doctor, so he's going to have that influence on him, where he's only going to strike and attack when it's absolutely necessary. But really, he's just gathering evidence and information and basically trying to turn tip the scales of justice into the favor of justice at any means he can within the confines of the law, even though he does operate somewhat outside of it. Like he's not licensed, and a lot of the stuff that he gathers can't always be admissible, but that's why he's formed that relationship with Commissioner Gordon. He's like, listen, I can find out this information and I can leave you breadcrumbs, and then you can gather the evidence, and hopefully that can lead to a conviction. His whole quest was just to take out organized crime and find the killer of his parents, and it wasn't an obsessive thing. It was basically like, I have to make meaning out of my life because of what I lost, because I lost the most valuable part of it, which is family, and that's what really drives Batman.
Sorry, like that's the best thing about the animated series if we go back that far, because if you actually remember, a lot of it wasn't him just going after the criminals. It was him trying to catch the criminals in the act. It was then trying to have the evidence lie there. He would tie them, he would disarm them, and leave them there for the police to be found. That's it. But now it's gone to the point where he needs to know all this type of training, whether it be from this karate dojo or from this text. They've taken him and tried to make him into a superhero rather than keeping his humanity and just learning and fighting crime from his human skills that he has developed and trained himself over time. He has forgotten that by the way they keep going into weird things. And there's too many origin stories. There's too many.
Well, it's not only that, it's they tell the origin story the same way. You can tell a Batman origin story because, again, the one thing that Hollywood, and it's a truism to comics, is that every story could be someone's first. So the question is, how do you creatively tell a Batman origin story without telling the same thing, showing that his parents get shot? And also, you got to cut out that stupid pearl necklace breaking, because no pearl necklace that's worth any money breaks. They just don't.
Wookiee in Exile said something I thought was interesting, is have Bruce and Martha die and Thomas become the vigilante.
Yeah, that'd be wicked.
Well, that's in the Flashpoint.
Yeah, that's the Flashpoint version.
I like that. I want to see that.
Okay,
which is also a terrible, a great alternate universe, but a terrible way that they started, because Flash goes so far, goes back in time that he changes the past before he even existed on top of the present that he exists in. It doesn't make sense.
Just got to jump in here real quick. Zach7 sent in a tip for $5, said, So this is awkward, but I was told Gina was going to be here. Sorry, Zach 7, she couldn't make it tonight.
Oh,
so,
no, wait a minute. We aim to please. Give me a minute.
But yeah, thank you so much for that donation and that tip. It keeps the lights on, and here's a video for you. Let's see.
Throw me a freaking bone here.
And Sean, sorry, but no, not everybody knows Batman's origin. Unless once you hit a certain age, then you do. But before that, you don't. And that's the thing, is like the other part too is a lot of the studios have to remember that they have to market Batman to the kids that also grew up with them. So that's your 8 and under. And guess what? The 8 and under, they don't often always know what Batman's origin is right away. And you just
and
have
I did
to allude
enjoy
to it.
that Batman 89 did not put the origin at the beginning.
Yeah.
As a flashback.
They put it in as a flashback. Heck, you can watch the Adam West Batman, and it's only casually mentioned of his origin that he took up the crime because his parents were shot in the street. And that was only done like the first 2 episodes, and they never addressed it again. And a lot of the kids,
they wanted to stay away from it because
they want to stay away
comedy.
from that aspect of it and keep it a very lighthearted, fun show. But what's really peculiar is that the entire that Batman there is very faithful to the character. He's just a bit more talkative than normal. Like that's the only difference, is that he's because Batman does, especially in the comics for many years, he gives the criminal a chance to turn themselves in and go on a path of redemption. Like that's one of the reasons why he was changed early on from being like a killer of criminals to one that wants to rehabilitate, because you keep killing a criminal, someone's just going to take their place eventually. But if you rehabilitate one, you at least show that potential criminal there's a chance for a life outside of crime by an example. And that's what kind of motivated Batman later on. And I mean, it got very ridiculous at some points. And I love the fact that in that Adam West series, they make fun of the rehabilitation programs that Warden Lindsay or Mayor Lindsay supports, because it's like the criminals always break out, or they pass the rehabilitation program, they go straight right back to crime again and again. It's making fun of the actual system of the current time. But I mean, it's a very truism to Batman. Is like he's not there to be judge, jury, and executioner. He's there just to be like, solve a crime and give the person a chance to not have to do that again. And as hopeless as it is in some cases, it's a very noble aspect, because what type of society would anyone be if they wanted to put all that burden on one individual? It's basically saying that the rest of us abdicate the responsibility for the very society that helped create these criminals in the first place. So like you can't just let one person be like, well, why don't Batman kill him? It's like, well, your society, your people, why don't you do it through the court of law? Like that's the question that nobody wants to face or address, at least in the Batman universe. And it's also one that a lot of people here in our real world don't always want to address. It's like, no. But that's what makes him such a fascinating character as he's evolved over the decades.
Yeah, the thing that always got to me was the whole Arkham Asylum bit. It's kind of like they keep throwing these insane criminals into Arkham Asylum. They never get rehabilitated. They never get fixed. They always break out. They always kill more and more and more people. It's like,
well, the other part too is like they treat it like it's a prison, but it's not. And when they do like animated either in video games or in comic books, they make it the most horrible environment possible to rehabilitate someone in. And I'm like, it's supposed to be a hospital. Like you can have it a castle, crazy, creepy castle on the outside, but the inside is supposed to look very tame and normal, because I've seen hospitals like that are retrofitted castles. And I mean, if it's a stormy night and you're walking up to it, you're terrified. But when you go inside and it's like clean walls and well lit and everybody's all cool and people are actually being looked after, that makes sense. But it's
you're supposed to be calmed.
You're supposed to be calmed.
That's the thing. I've worked in state institutions before, and it's like, these things have overseers. It's like, I always laugh because, you watch these prison shows and stuff like that, and people are getting killed left, right, and center. I'm like, dude, they shut that prison down so fast.
Yeah, they don't want to lose a prisoner. That's money.
Yeah, that's money. And it's the same thing with like Arkham Asylum. It's like, dude, they have some people. Their people have to be watching over these things to make sure they're up to code and make sure their employees are trained and that they have very
never be crap on the walls.
Yeah.
And okay, I just got to stop you guys real quick. McKinney 90 sent in a $5 tip. He didn't say anything, so thank you for that. We'll give you a little video here.
Hold
he's
on,
also.
Before you do that, thank you, Mackney, for giving the grifter money. I appreciate you super chatting to Yeti that he'll eventually pay me later, as we stated in the early beginning of the video. I will be taking all money donated today because, I need it. Give me money.
Okay. And here's
Young people from all over the globe are joining up to fight for the future.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
He's also a fantastic creator and artist on here. So if you haven't checked out his channel, make sure you do, because he's great. And if we've got a mod in the chat, can you please put his link there? Because
that'll cost you $5 in a Stream Elements tip if you want me to post the link.
But Steven wants more than just the tip.
Yeah, I just want the tip. I don't care if it's Mac's tip or Yeti's tip, but probably Mac's is bigger, so I'll take that one.
But yeah, thank you everyone for doing that. And if you do want to do it, there's also the links at the top there, because we don't have I haven't hit the hours to get that monetization number there. Anyways, back to what we were saying about how Arkham Asylum is just
garbage, a garbage fire.
Yeah, I mean, you want to show a really cool Batman film, show Arkham Asylum creepy on the outside but pleasant on the inside, and then you open up all the potential of, like, oh man, so these criminals are really beyond hopeless because they've got all this, like, the treatment may be subpar, but the aesthetics, everything else is up to code, and there's actually an effort there, but it's like, no, these criminals are stubborn, and they're really just trying to game the insane plea, which is only a legal aspect. It's not actually medical. There's no medical diagnosis for insanity. So it's basically just a legal scapegoat, and that's what I like about the Joker, especially. Is like he's not an insane character. He pretends to be insane so that he doesn't have to go to regular jail, because he can manipulate and mess with doctors a lot easier than he can with a prison guard. A prison guard's not going to take Joker crap. They're going to beat him down every chance they get. But actually, and that's the fascinating aspect of him. Like, he's not very chaotic. He's actually ridiculously methodical. He just fools everybody, and that's the joke. And that's what I really like about his character, and why I really want to get that type of Joker in live action one day. It'd be fantastic. We got really close with it with Jack Nicholson and Cesar Romero, but not so much with anyone else since.
You know what character I've been dying to see, just a standalone movie?
Wait. Before you go into that, I know you're going to segue. But let's stay on the Joker for a sec. The one thing I've always laughed about with the Joker, I always thought was funny, was he keeps getting thrown back into Arkham, and I'm figuring that's got to be a state-run institution at some point, because somebody, like the taxpayers, probably are footing the bill to get those teeth put back in every single time Batman punches a damn thing.
I think it's funded by. I think Wayne's Enterprises itself actually probably has the dentistry covered, right?
Oh, I know, but I mean,
that's why he knocks out the teeth. Think about it. If he's paying for the teeth, he has every right to knock them out.
I'll pay to put the fucking teeth back in. I want to knock them out again next time. So
remember that Robot Chicken skit, right, where he was constantly hitting Joker, wouldn't stop, and you see he's dying, takes a breath, keeps going again.
He runs the Gotham dental board.
I haven't seen that one fast. Even I did like the one though where Bane is just repeatedly breaking Batman's spine in the entire show. That was funny. I like that.
No, that's not funny. Batman likes his spine.
Yeah, well, Bane likes his spine too, snapped in half.
Bane likes green Kool-Aid. Bine. Fear me, Batman. I am Bine.
or
not to confuse with the brine.
Speaking of the other characters, actually two I really want to see just a standalone film would be Mr. Freeze or the Scarecrow. Just their origin. Scarecrow. Oh, okay. I say the Scarecrow because in the game, the Arkham Asylum game, he was fantastic. He brought so much more to that character. I love that part. But just going comic wise, Mr. Freeze, that guy's got a great story behind him that should be told. Like just the way he does things.
26 years old too. That's Paul Dini's origin of Mr. Freeze. The original one, Mr. Zero, was created by Batman by accident, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was like a crazy scientist experimenting with like colds and whatnot, and Batman stops him and he gets doused with all the chemicals and he becomes Mr. Zero. And then for some reason, I think there's a rights issue for the Batman Adam West series. They couldn't use Mr. Zero, so they did Mr. Freeze, and he was originally named Dr. Shivel was his original name. Yeah, seriously. He wasn't Victor Freeze at the time.
And I bet he spoke really good Yiddish.
Yeah, very good Yiddish. And then there's another Mr. Freeze also as well, a different normal name prior to Victor, and then Victor I think came in later in the 70s, and he was still just like an eccentric kind of one-off type of guy. And it wasn't until Paul Dini made him a tragic character that he actually exploded and became interesting. But again, Mr. Freeze is a very limited villain because he's not really doing anything other than just trying to save his wife, right? So he's very specifically utilized.
But that's the story I want to see.
Like, I have to disagree because Sean brought up a point, and he thinks that all of us think every one of our own ideas are bad, and you should feel bad. Thank you, Sean.
Oh, Sean's always supportive over here. No, Sean's wrong. A standalone model would be good if you just show his storyline, not him fighting Batman stuff. You probably have that start coming in near the end, but just that descent and loss and his character, that drive to do anything in order to get his wife back. It would be fantastic on screen.
I think Bane is a more interesting character, and he's had more books written about him here recently anyway, by Jonathan, you know?
But can that be a standalone?
He's got standalone
escaping
books.
the prison in Santa Prisca because he has some sort of delusion of going after a bat-like man.
Yeah, there's that. But I mean, his whole, progression from just, being born in a prison to growing up in a prison to
being experimented on,
yeah, finding his way out of it, and then deciding, I'm going to go take down Batman, and then you could even go into the Ra's al Ghul thing where he's, temporarily considered to be, the head of the Assassin's Guild. But
why can't we just have Talia and just focus on her in a swimsuit for 2 hours?
I think that's called...
Gotta cast the right girl for that.
Yeah.
No. The whole movie could be us choosing different girls, which looks better.
There you go. I think we got a topic for Wednesday's stream.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I think they did that. It was called Baywatch.
Yasmin Bleeth as Talia al Ghul.
Oh.
No, Hasselhoff is Talia al Ghul,
Hey, he's got a movie coming up.
Yeah.
Hoff.
But Sean Carmel blames you all for shooting down my ideas.
I didn't even shoot down your ideas at all. I don't know where he's going with this. He's some delusions of grandeur.
I don't know. It's just
Sean's just full of hate and rage tonight.
See, I could see a Scarecrow origin movie be more like a university horror flick, where he's preying on the students.
Yeah,
you have to have really interesting students to counterbalance that.
How is there not an entire series of just villains? You
could go through Gotham, and it sucked.
Remember the suit that young Bruce Wayne had at the end of the series? Oh my god, it was like from Value Village.
I think that killed Gotham for me, was the fact that there was no Batman in it, and it just kind of like, why am I watching this?
And then when they show Batman, the mask and costume is just awful.
I thought it was supposed to be awful though, because he's like young Batman.
He beats the Joker by throwing a batarang into his hand and then knocking him out with another batarang from like a great distance. It's really terrible.
Do you think Court of Owls could have had substance if they did it right?
Yeah, I mean, Scott Snyder had a cool idea, but the thing is, he just made it an aristocratic version of the League of Assassins.
Yeah, basically.
I mean, that's what ruined it. Because whenever you're dealing with some sort of underground kind of agency of sorts, so to speak, or like Illuminati type thing, the one thing a lot of people forget is that whoever's at the top doesn't have actually any power, because they're spending all of their time trying to stay at the top because everybody below them is trying to kill them so that they can get the power. And it's really the mid players that are doing everything, because nobody really cares about their tier, so they actually can do all the operations, they can do all the stuff, they can gather a lot of the money, and they just kind of like funnel up the chain. But they're the ones that are not really being hunted. But it's when from that mid tier that they want more power that they go up one level, and then as a result, it's no longer about manipulating the city of Gotham, so to speak. It's just staying ahead of everybody else that's after your butt for the same level of status. And that's when you realize that those type of institutions are actually very self-destructive, and overall can't actually manipulate as much of the world as people claim they can.
I have an image to share with you guys. Thanks from Memes of Destruction, and I have a script attached to this. I have a question attached to script for this afterwards. So, Yeti, I keep up this up quickly. Thank you, Memes, for having to bring that image back. I do appreciate that. But does that look like the convention center where they have most of our fan expos, though? The lower level?
Oh yeah, that does look like the one over just off of Front Street.
Lakeshore,
right?
Lakeshore, yeah.
Lakeshore, yeah. That does. That I recognize that elevator and the bad color palette.
Yeah, the only thing it's missing is the 501st and the Daleks.
Yeah.
And it looks like he's doing a better job of breaking Batman's dick than his back.
Why is his hand so near his balls?
I know. It's just like,
why
what
wouldn't
are you
his
doing
hand
there,
be in his
babe?
balls?
Gotta steady him, otherwise he'll really break his back.
Yeah, that's a balancing act.
Hey, don't forget to cup the balls.
Yeah. You see,
when else are you gonna get a chance to fondle Batman's balls?
I don't know. What do you do in your spare time?
Oh.
I can't get close to Batman. I wish.
You wish to fondle Batman's balls.
I mean, when have you ever had a chance to touch a billionaire? I don't know.
See, I'm not going to shoot down this idea, Sean, because I'm going to see how far Yeti digs himself, because he really wants to fondle Batman's balls.
You got to tickle that pickle.
So that's where Bane's venom comes from.
Gary, don't ever eat a pickle on stream again.
Oh, yeah, someone else said it. They say in the
God.
chat.
Dark Shadow Logan says Bane is milking the venom.
Yep.
Yeah, he was looking for Martha's pearl necklace.
Oh God.
No.
Oh, I love this chat. I love it so much.
Which do you love more, the chat? Do you love the chat or Batman's balls?
Oh, you can't. That's like Sophie's Choice.
Oh, that's oh shoot! Whoa, okay. Demonetized.
Okay, come on.
Well, it's like I asked Graham Nolan. I said, how in the fuck is it they can't get Bane right no matter what they do? Because it's like we've seen like 3 iterations of him and they fucked him up every single time. I'm like, really? How hard is it to do this guy? It's not
I had
that
a question.
hard.
I had a question. Is it called the Bat Shaft? Do you have like work the back shaft?
If it has a curve, it's called the Batarang.
I thought it was the bat pole, but
The bat pole.
No,
That was from the 60s show.
Bat Shaft. Bat Shaft.
Take the bat pole, Robin.
Gary just disowned us live on stream. Oh,
I think we ruined pickles for him. He was just eating the whole jar.
Hey, I like pickles. Nothing wrong with pickles.
I think I had help from the chat on this one. You guys got me down there, and I just went to work. And yes, I phrased it that way.
Oh.
Thank you, Kate.
What poor Gary? We have to be on the show with him.
I love you, Gary.
We're scarring his delicate sensibilities.
Bull crap.
Yeah, that's what
I'm just surprised that he hasn't had any of his own dick jokes to bring up.
I know.
I'm the one who started the whole thing with him grabbing Batman's dick. What are you talking about?
So Gary's grabbing Bane's dick while
you, for being a screenwriter, did a shitty job of writing me.
Listen here, Paling, calm down.
Slide down the bat pole. Oh. I did that once. I got a friction burn.
Can you imagine that? You turn on the Gotham bat symbol, it's just the shaft of the bat condom top.
Amen, Sean. Amen.
He's just waiting for Batman to use his utility belt on him.
Okay, and since we're talking Batman real quick, I feel remiss if I don't point this out because the chat doesn't know this, but I know this. This is my deepest feeling on this. Is I think that Pattinson is wasted on Batman. However, I do think he would have made a really good Eric Draven for The Crow.
Yeah, probably.
If you were going to make a remake, which apparently that's what they're looking at, and I'm like, no. But if you got to pick him, there. Yeah, they haven't done well. They have not done well. But
nope.
Apparently that property is still good though, because every once in a while J.O. Barr will put another one out, or somebody will put one out. So,
but isn't there like a curse behind the whole Crow series in general that no one actually wants to get in production because of what's happened?
I doubt that.
I think Edward isn't like an urban legend. Isn't like an urban legend?
No, there's like 3 not so great films, aside from the original, and then there was a TV show with Mark Dacascos, who really hasn't done that bad for himself. So
Okay, I did get a question for McKinney90. He sent in a $2 tip and asked, "What would make a good standalone horror or tragic horror?" Clayface.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kathleen Kennedy's sex tape.
Oh.
So
I
I
wanna
think he's
see that.
suggesting Clayface and asking us what we think it would be.
Zax, are you shitting me? They want Michael B. Jordan for The Crow? Really? Are you shitting me?
They're just going to
Black
keep
Crow.
throwing him like spaghetti against the wall and see what sticks.
It's like the pickle from Happy Gilmore, or sorry, Billy Madison. They're going down the window, going, "Hopefully, one of those things will get a roll." Just one.
It's
I
like,
do
we want him
not
to play
see that.
Superman, spaghetti against the wall. We want him as the Crow against the wall. It's just like,
They don't want him
gotta
as
get him
Green
in
Lantern,
something.
though.
Oh, hey, look at that. I'm not the only one who thinks so. Dark Shadow Logan agrees with me because he saw the Batman trailer and he was thinking Crow City of Angels. Yeah, me too, man. I see Pattinson
actually, I
as
like
the
Crow City of Angels. It was one of the better sequels.
Was
It
that
was
the one with
okay,
Nicolas
yeah.
Cage?
No,
No, that was
with
just
City of
Pop.
Angels.
Iggy Pop was in Crow City of Angels.
I think this guy should play if he could get reincarnated. I think we got a perfect Crow right here.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah,
You remember that was a possibility at one point.
I
They
know.
actually-
I know.
yeah.
Just
my
like Steven
God.
Seagal was actually considered for the '89 Batman before Keaton. He was actually considered for it.
Are
Bill
you
Murray
serious?
was considered for him too
Yeah.
in '82.
Oh, that would have
I
been.
still think we missed out on Nicolas Cage Superman. God,
No,
that would
we
be
didn't
glorious.
miss out
I get-
shit. We
I get-
didn't miss out shit. That's like a Mad TV skit. We didn't
I would
miss
love to see
nothing.
Seagal as Batman. All right, I'm gonna kick your ass, but first I'm gonna have a cheeseburger.
Batman
You
versus
know who really
Superman
missed
with
out?
Steven Seagal and Nicolas Cage. Come on.
Oh, come
No,
on.
I think
I
you know
would
who
run
really missed out
horribly.
on Batman that probably would have really done well for the franchise? Bruce Boxleiter.
Yeah, he would have been okay. I think he would have been all right.
He's got a great voice for it. He's got the frame
Yeah.
for it, or
Yeah.
had it at the time.
Had it. He's kind of old now.
He's in his 60s right now, but
I
no,
think
like
Don-
in the 90s stuff, if they got him instead of Val Kilmer, I probably would have stayed on for at least another movie or so, and maybe not
Yeah,
gotten
I
Batman.
think
there's,
Don-
there's a reason they're not having Val Kilmer in any more movies.
I think
Poor guy.
Don Wrinkles would have been a great Penguin, though.
Don Rickles.
Don Rickles would have been okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
he'd have been interesting.
Gary's like wondering why he's
know.
here.
I'm just.
I don't know.
I kind of like.
And I'm a
Buddy
big John
Hackett.
Rickles fan. It's like, no.
I know. I just want to mess with your head.
I still think we're missing.
Actually,
out
Rupert. He
on-
could be a good Rupert Thorne, Don Rickles.
Mm.
He wouldn't have to say the
Well, a
jokes.
lot of people
but he's
don't
got
know
the
that he
shape
can
and-
actually act.
Yeah, he can really act.
Yeah, he can.
He did that movie in the 90s, the vampire movie,
I was thinking Dirty Dozen.
with Loggia.
Robert
Robert
Loggia,
Loggia.
yeah.
Robert
That's R for
Yeah, I
Robert
remember that one.
Loggia.
What was it?
Oh,
Innocent Blood?
oh, look.
Oh,
It's
shit.
Robert Loggia.
Innocent
That's one of the
Blood.
best Family Guy skits ever.
Fucking love that. But yeah, he plays. He worked for the mob boss, Robert Loggia's character in this vampire movie. I forget the name of
Innocent
that.
Blood. I keep saying
I
it.
fucking love that movie. Well, I don't
Yeah.
listen
There's
to
the
t-shirt.
gender.
But yeah, that's a great little film, and Don Rickles is good in that movie.
Yeah, he was. Robert Loggia is great too. I mean,
Robert Loggia.
after
Robert
he eats-
Loggia.
After he eats that dude, the first thing he says is, "This shirt is filthy," because he's like covered with fucking blood.
Yeah, no, it's like it's almost like he detaches and forgets that he just
Yeah.
murdered people.
Yeah, it's like that's great. I love that guy.
Who
we
was it
lost
that?
a great
Who
actor.
did that movie? Because
Oh, it was. I think it was Sylvia Crystal was the vampire, wasn't she? Or
no,
Or
it's
Juliet-
a French girl.
yeah, that's what I'm
French
saying.
actress.
Yeah, and
It's not Sylvia Crystal's a porn star.
He's too
Oh,
short
was she?
for Kingpin, I think.
it was
that
Annie
would be cool.
Parilode. I can't say her name. One of you
And
Canadian guys.
Paralod.
I'm not in a bathtub. What is this?
He's-
It starred Anne Paralod, Robert
Paralod.
Loggia,
Robert
Angela
Loggia.
Paglia,
and
and
Anthony.
Don Rickles.
And if
This
you're a
is
proper
Alan
Italian,
Rickman.
you say Anthony. It's Anthony LaPaglia.
You know he's
And-
Australian, no?
No, him and his brother, yeah.
Yeah. And he's always playing these fucking
brothers-
Hollywood wise guys.
Yeah, and I love that his brother does the same thing. They do great American accents.
Yeah, they do.
And his brother starred in that 7 Days TV series where he could go 7 hours, where he can go ahead 7 hours to try to stop something from happening. I think it got one season. But it was still better than what it got for ratings.
Robert Loggia.
I still think we're going to be missing out on Nicolas Cage saying
Martha. Shit, it's John Landis. John Landis directed.
It was a John Landis movie, yeah. Yeah.
I love that movie. Love that movie.
Now watch this. Now everybody run out to Amazon and go get it. You know you want it.
I think Script Doctor.
Yes, Sean, it was filmed in Pittsburgh. And God, man, that whole thing was so good.
I think Script Doctor could play a great The Phantom, right? Because he never shows his face. He would probably look great in tights.
Well, if he ever comes on the show to show his face, he needs to wear the Phantom mask.
He does.
I don't have a Phantom mask. I only have the Adam West Batman mask.
Well, that'll work too, the bat cowl.
I don't want to know what he does behind closed doors. The Batman 2C.
I want to see him.
How did you leap to that, Steven?
Because I'm a huge pervert.
We never said anything about behind closed doors, and you're like, I don't want to. It's like, come on, man. Stop
being comfortable, man.
The only exercise you get, boy, is that brain jumping to conclusions.
Nah, it's me lifting Twinkies and pretending they're gluten free.
Oh, good comeback,
One
sir.
bite and 2 bites. At 3 bites, I'm done. It's cream filling tastes funny.
Okay. Stream Elements bot running.
Yes, that is running. Thank you for pointing that out.
Can I add a command that says Yeti, go after yourself?
He's got a clown emoji. I love that.
Add.
That's a robot.
Oh my god.
Is that a robot? It looks like a clown.
That's a robot.
Yeah, okay.
Looks like Rosie the robot.
That's the WandaVision toaster. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that one too.
What?
Does anybody
I don't even know what's going on anymore.
I haven't checked it out in a while.
John Landis' career ended abruptly because of what happened on the Twilight Zone movie. And,
Yeah.
I mean, he made a handful of films, two of which are in my favorites list. The one he did with Jeff Goldblum where he's, it's one night and he has insomnia. And Michelle Pfeiffer is in it. It's just, what a great movie. And then I loved Innocent Blood, and then his career was dead after that. He couldn't get anybody else. And,
also he kind of in the industry he is known as a backstabber to a lot of people.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, like he takes credit for a lot of stuff that he did not actually do. There's some great stories with regards to Animal House that I suggest you all start looking deep into because he was not really involved in that film as much as you think. A certain other producer who is also a director of a very popular 80s comedy, sci-fi
Harold
comedy.
Ramis?
Don Richter.
No, Ivan Reitman did way more.
Oh, Ivan Reitman.
Ivan Reitman, yeah.
Did way more on Animal House and other John Landis films that he helped out on than John Landis did. And John Landis just took a lot of the credit. And there's actually also a panel with John Landis, John Carpenter, and another horror director whose name has escaped me at the moment. And I think it's done in like 1982 or so. But John Landis has nothing to say about the horror genre in that entire panel, and it's all about horror. And it's like, well, one of the guys who did American Werewolf in Paris is like, sorry, in London, and he doesn't know the genre that he's talking about. Like, why does he not have all these stories about it? But they keep asking him questions, and he just has these little, really off the cuff, quick little answers. And then it's everybody else on the panel that's talking about like what horror means, what it does.
I wonder if that's why Max Landis is such a cunt.
Yes, Rachel Landis is actually the normal one. That's the daughter.
What do you guys think of this? Wookiee in Exile said, I want the Coen brothers to do a Buck Rogers movie with Scott Bakula, Wee Man, and Scarlett Johansson.
Ooh.
Is Scott Bakula the professor? Because he can't be Buck Rogers. The poor guy's a little too old for that.
Yeah. Which film directors are now women? Which ones are those ones?
Which film directors are now women?
Are now women? You talk about the Wachowskis?
That's it. Thank you. I'm trying to remember the names.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
They're now
Awkward.
just known as the Wachowskis or the Wachowski siblings.
Is it Wachowski or is it Wachowski?
Wachowski.
I say Wachowski.
Okay.
I've heard them say Wachowski, so
Okay. I trust you then.
Don't
if they
trust him.
change
He was
it
a bad
again, like
cow.
I mean, listen, they're very fluid with some of their approaches to things. So if
Yes,
they want to
yes,
change
they
it,
are.
Angry Sean Crummell says maybe he's just sick of telling the same stories over and over. And then he continues, I'd watch Scarlet in a tight space outfit. And then he corrects himself, Scarlet, which nobody would have fucking...
It's all that
have you seen
anger.
that's it's Skin of Evil or some sort of skin movie?
Yeah, Alien Skin.
Alien Skin.
or something.
Yeah.
Species.
I've got it over here
That's
on my
what Scarlett
shelf.
Johansson looks like when she's in good shape. So you realize that it's really the costume she's wearing that moves things around to look better than they actually are.
That's
But
a
she's
pretty
still
trippy
beautiful.
film if you ever watch it.
It is, yeah.
It is.
I don't think I've seen that one.
And
Well,
yes,
you'll
Sean,
remember
you
it.
should change your name to Angry Sean Crummell.
Disgruntled sounds good too.
Or Disgruntled Sean Crummell.
Disgruntled.
And then create a second account called Sean Crummell, and then you bicker at each other in chat.
Or no.
Or
just-
Sean Crummell demands to see your manager.
No, just make it all one word. Disgrummel.
Disgrumble.
Well, I've done that in chat on other people's shows where I've shown up both my Cohen's Ghost account and my Pop Culture account. And if whatever Pop Culture says, Cohen's Ghost says, you're such a fucking know-it-all. I fucking hate you. You should stop posting Pop Culture Minefield.
Is this what it's like to live in your head?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that what happens every day?
Dear MySpace, this panel keeps telling other people on the panel to shut up because their ideas are stupid. Hashtag disgrumbled.
Exactly. And of course, Subhuman84, my response to that is non-biological Wachowski bitches. I made Fat laugh.
Okay.
Oh, that'd be a wicked t-shirt.
I'd never wear it. I'll make the joke, but I will not wear it.
He wouldn't wear it either.
Just crumbled. I like that one.
Just crumbled.
Sean says, yeah, Angry Sean says, you guys don't realize how close you're pushing me to do it.
Do it.
He's one step closer to the Crummel, but he's about to break.
And I don't know why Yeti isn't sharing any of these on the screen, but I'll just keep reading them. Subhuman84 says, got you, Gary. Got you too, buddy.
Tim
Whoopi
Tringle says,
in Exile,
Karen Crummell.
Aaron Gray in shiny spandex bodysuits is what triggered puberty for me, I think.
Ooh.
And that is a little too much information, my friend.
I'm sorry, I was 5 when that show came on, so.
And Aaron Gray hated those costumes because they were really uncomfortable.
Do you
Really?
think you can get the cast of the Avengers to do a Brady Bunch redo?
No.
And Pop Culture Archivist
That should
says,
have been on WandaVision. Come on.
and I'm assuming Pop Culture Archivist, you mean to do it like the character in Starsky and Hutch. Do it.
He's fun dude. Jed's a fun dude. I think it's the right one. Otherwise, yeah, Jed's a fun dude.
Karen Crummell. No.
Do it. Do it.
Do it. Do it now. Do it.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
Do it.
Do it. Wendy Vega is here. Hello, Wendy.
I said hi to her early in the chat. You didn't
we're
notice?
At 2 hours.
Yeah, but she doesn't
Holy.
like you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
she
at
does.
2 hours.
No, she doesn't.
Thank you,
She likes me
everyone,
better
for
than
watching.
you.
She likes me better than you because I make her giggle. I make her titter like a little girl.
I do too.
No, she's just waiting for us to say Henry Cavill one more time.
True.
Henry Cavill.
Yeah, that had all the ladies coming to our stream. We
Yeah.
just kept saying that, and
Especially the way Keith said it.
Oh, all right.
Michael
Let's-
Keaton.
Let's double down on it. Henry Cavill, moist.
Moist.
Ew, why is he moist? That's disgusting.
why?
That is
'Cause
a
he's
trigger
covered
word
with
for my
oil.
daughter. That is an absolute trigger word for my daughter. She has thrown things at me just for saying it to her. I said, be careful, honey. You don't want those dishes to be left moist.
Why is it a trigger word?
Hey, let's watch that new movie,
She
The Moist
fucking
Nurse.
hates that word. It grosses her out.
Moist.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry you have to go through that right now, but I hope this helps.
What a horrible person.
I really do.
Wendy, if you need me to shit harder on YetiCast, just say the word. I want to help you make you feel
Today's
better.
secret word of the
Shit
day.
all over him.
Yes,
Everyone.
Today's
So-
secret
I mean,
word
the
of
guy
the
couldn't
day.
even do a cold open. He was
Yeah.
stammering all over the place with words.
Today's secret
mixing
word is
up words.
moist. Just say
Moist
moist.
is a great word.
Moist cast. We're gonna call them moist
Today,
cast.
our word is moist. Everybody in the chat, hashtag moist.
But everyone send the positive vibes toward Wendy right now.
Vendy?
Because, yeah, I know.
Vendy?
I'm all tongue.
What is it with
Wendy.
you not being able to talk today, my friend?
I don't know.
Vendy
I don't
Vega.
know.
This stroke
Another
is brought to you
Yeti
by
Vega.
Did you
mid-stroke.
take your Ritalin?
This stream was brought to you by mid-stroke. He's almost there, but he's almost coherent.
That's a nightmare I have of having a stroke, just going.
Well, we started. Well, we started with the bat shaft, right? So he's thought about the mid-stroke. He's there. He's always going.
It started with fucking
Parkinson's.
Dwayne Johnson.
Oh, God. It's been all,
when
yeah. I've been doing
he called the
marbles all
stream
day.
Scream. He called the stream Scream, too.
Oh my God, man! You need to get off the crack, my friend, and I mean the ass crack.
All super chats for tomorrow's stream will be go towards Hooked on Phonics because he can't read.
Pay for one of those speech therapists. That'll help.
Okay, Wendy, do you feel better? I shit all over Yeti for you.
Moist.
Okay, yeah. He's right though. Yeah. Ripa is responsible for the moisting. So we need to come up with our own unique thing. So we will just go straight with wet
No, moist still works. I like moist.
or oily.
How about everybody
glistening.
just do Cool Whip? Hey, Bri, stick some Cool Whip on that pie.
Wow, that close-up didn't help me at all.
No, that got rid of my
Too bad,
wood.
Steven.
I'm only half chub now.
Good. I get tired of you guys getting excited around me.
Script.
That's mid-stroke Gary right there.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't tell if it's a stroke or a fart.
Either way, he's whistling.
That's my favorite Perry Chan thing to do. Is whenever he does Tom Connors doing stroking one out. That's my favorite. I laugh at that every single time.
Steven, are you just letting them rip over there? Is that what's going on?
I heard something.
I heard something.
I have a soundboard.
It's a soundboard.
I don't believe it.
He's trying to be clever.
Jeez. Okay. No. No. Oh my God. This is not the type of highbrow material that people have come to enjoy on this channel.
I can't tell if he slapped.
That's not even Fat Steven.
It sounds like
That's not
someone's
even
beating the
me.
shit out of their sack.
What the fuck, dude?
I thought that was you doing it.
Dude, did you just silence Henry Cavill? How dare you? I guess this can't happen with a mid-stroke, you know.
Oh my God. Cute. Wendy Vega says, gets me wet is better.
Never pope your wood.
I don't.
Thanks for coming, everybody. It's been a great stream. It's been a great stream. Thank you, everybody. I'll come back now, you hear?
Oh my God. I don't know what's going on anymore.
Neither do we. We've been trying to figure that out for 8 minutes. How about that local sports team?
Bears. The Bears got a great team this year. Bears going to go all the way.
I would just like to. Do you everyone here seen Caddyshack, right? Before we close out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Okay, do you remember that the
Caddyshack
whole?
too.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about one though. Do you remember the whole movie? She wasn't wearing a bra, and it was always cold outside. There you go. I'm done.
Now I have to go back and watch it.
Tron.
Loki did a watch party yesterday. What
There you
is
go.
that?
What is?
That's me eating a jalapeno Pringles.
How old
There
were
you go.
you?
So, how did Pringles turned you into now?
That was from 2014.
Wow.
Wow.
What happened?
Yeah.
I went
shaved.
gray. I went gray.
You're chubby for Steven? That's yay. You're chubby. That's great.
Think about baseball, Wendy.
Baseball with Henry Cavill.
And while Yeti thinks about bat balls with Bane.
Oh, look, there's Henry Cavill. He's about to go into the batter box there. He's got his Louisville Slugger, and he's got all that terry cloth, and he's wiping it down. Ooh, he's cleaning that baseball bat.
He's pelvic thrusting the umpire.
Knock the dirt off his cleats.
This is baseball porn, brought to you by
Mid-stroke.
Yeti Cast.
A panel of rejects. I'm not putting my name on this one.
I think bowling ball porn is better anyway, because all right, he's approaching the lane, and you can see now he's oiling his ball very carefully. He's putting it in the ball washer, and he's moving it back and forth. And look at the way he takes care on it. Yes, he's getting a fine shine on that. And okay, you see he's approaching the lane. He's measuring the oil, and now the oil on the lane is very important because that can make your stroke go one way or the other when you roll the ball. And he's lining up on the pins, and he's casting.
The rest of the chat, you don't.
This is really going long, buddy.
That is really going long. Yeah. It's a hefty one. It's a 13-pounder, and he's got enough spin on it that it hooks to the left ever so slightly.
This isn't the Snyder cut of jokes, okay, T-shirt? Okay, stop that, Steven.
That's a good one.
That's a steel toilet he's urinating in.
There.
Yeah. That's a prison toilet.
That is a prison toilet.
It is a prison toilet.
It's sad that you guys know what a prison toilet sounds like.
I may have worked in institutions that may have been of state origin, yes.
I've interviewed people that have spent many years while they're in jail with many years left to go.
All right, guys, I think we should close out. We're dying here.
Yeah.
What are you eating, Gary? Are you eating more pickles?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, guys.
Pickles.
I guess it's about time to wrap this up because this is just going weird.
He has an erection. He doesn't want to give that away.
Oh wait, yeah, I gotta go take care of stuff. So, I don't know. T-shirt, why don't you lead us out? What do you got going this week?
Oh, well, let's see. Possibly going to be on the show Wednesday night. I don't know. Maybe one way or the other. Yeah. Depends on if Steven flushes me or not. Definitely catch me on Friday, unless Gary starts it at 1 or 12 or something again, in which case I'll probably miss the show entirely. But other than that, yeah, I am still the YouTube Ronin, wandering through channels and shit posting on Twitter. So thank you very much.
It's the wanderer. Script Actor, what do you have going on this week?
I have 2 projects I got to finish up. I had a day off yesterday, which was awesome, and then kind of a day off today, but I did shopping. And then I got to go back to doing some script doctoring work. And then I'm just gonna see if I can see what happens with work. It's a busy season right now, so I'm happy to have that. So no videos to drop as of yet. Got a third way through one earlier today, but life got in the way. Why do you put me big on screen? I'm not.
I don't know.
I have nothing important going on yet. I have no videos, nothing dropped.
I just want to see that beard, that luscious beard.
It's gonna shave as soon as it gets another 6 degrees warmer consistently. I'm shaving that off. Yeah.
Okay, Fat Steven, what do you have going on this week?
I have a new album coming out. Then I'm gonna drift. Then I'm gonna play with my pecs. Then I'm gonna redo Batwoman. I'm gonna look for my gut. And then I'm going to pretend to be Spider-Man and then eat this rock. Thank you. You can catch me doing the game streams. I just finished up Outriders campaign. I am now working on the expeditions. 10 a.m., 11 a.m., usually Eastern. I co-host with Lorena Creel for the lunch table, usually Friday at noon. Tomorrow we're doing a special afternoon episode with Andre from Midnight's Edge. He will be our guest.
Ooh.
That'll be great.
Oh, fantastic.
And Tug, please reach out to me. I know you love me, bro.
Gary, you had something you wanted me to show.
His penis.
Yeah, there you go. This is what I'm working on. I'm doing the movie poster for the U.S. release of this movie. Escape from Death Block 13, starring Robert Bronzi. And directed by Gary Jones, a friend of mine. And I'm pretty stoked about doing that. I'll be working on that for the next 10 days. And then past that, I'm going to be doing a stream with Fat Steven on Wednesday for about anime or animation, period. And then we got another TGIF coming this Friday, which will be film director Rod Lurie, who directed really the best film from 2021, The Outpost, with Eastwood, what's his name, Scott Eastwood, the elf from that Legolas.
Orlando Bloom.
Orlando Bloom's in it. It's a great cast, great film. In my opinion, it's still the best film from last year, and it was snubbed by the Oscars. And that'll be our guest on Friday for TGIF. And past that, it's none of your fucking business what I'm doing.
Okay, and well, first off, I want everybody to send all their positive vibes towards Wendy Vega because she deserves it. And
yes,
we're rooting for you all
Wendy.
over here. So
I would also like to all the people in the chat to send positive vibes to Yeti that he learns how to spell and talk by the next stream. So let's all hope that goes well.
Jeez, Marie, I'm dreading our next show.
I'm loving the scream, bro. I'm loving the scream.
It's the one time Tug actually comes on here, and then I'm just a mush mouth.
And I think we should do a live stream Saturday. And have Sean Crummell on as a guest and ask him why he's so fucking angry.
There you go.
Is this gonna be like an intervention?
So
Sean Grumble.
An exorcism,
you're such
really.
a cute guy and adorable and occasionally creepy in your photos.
I just want to try on his clothes and call myself decrumbled.
Ooh. That can be fun.
Okay, Ed, I also want to say if you want to help out the channel, I still got a whole bunch of watch hours to go. So at night, if you're not doing anything, got good data, just hit play all because that will really help.
Or
otherwise,
make the playlist that I told you to do yesterday.
Yeah, they're all there. I've got a bunch of playlists. You can go through them all if you want to see them. And yeah, just click play, and then I can get those watch hours.
Click play, click unsub, and enjoy the stream.
I thought you were just fucking with my name, Sean. I love you, man.
Help him with the watch hours. If everyone at least does one playlist a night, you will help him get closer to Hooked on Phonics books. But he needs it. Yeah, he deserves it. Not here, but he deserves it somewhere.
He needs that so badly.
Like a Las Vegas hooker looking for her teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I've also on Saturday at noon Pacific Standard Time, we have Movies to Lose Friends By, where we are watching Super Mario Bros. And Spawn with Snow Dub.
And two movies I hated.
Yes.
You notice how he's invited mostly everyone off the panel here, except for like two people on the panel.
I literally invited you guys last week, and you're all like, "No, I can't."
5 minutes before the show. Not enough time to watch the movie.
Days. I can look back in our chat because that is all saved. It's all in
Siri,
there.
Can you play Tiny Violin?
It's all in there. And the teacher's like, "No, I got to help out Steven." And like, okay.
Yeti, tell us, where did YouTube touch you? Show us on the doll.
The Rose Tico doll. Show us where YouTube touched you.
I want this known for posterity. I have asked.
No. For posterity for who?
For everyone. For the future.
You don't have any posterity. You're a Yeti.
Anyways, yeah. On Saturday, got that.
My impression of Yeti.
Friday,
hey, it's Yeti.
T-shirt with. Okay, I've got shows with these dickholes, and we're just going to close this out because I can't say anything more. So,
Yeti loves
thank you all for coming. I really appreciate you all.
Fuck you,
Love
Yeti.
having you here.
I like to be a captain of the docking ship.
Bye, everyone.
Yep.
What's going on?
Gotta stroke that shaft.
I'm Yeti.